Patton, you're the plaintiff in the case, which means you go first. This is the final hearing in your case. Are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
You'll come up to the podium. Tell me what's involved in the final hearing in your case and what your position is regarding that.
Your Honor, to be honest, I'm just ready for it to be done.
Pardon?
I'm ready for it to be finished and over with.
Okay.
I have filed with Ms. Duke multiple options and opportunities and different things that I thought were reasonable offers. Right out of the gate, before we ever even started this, I offered $500 in child support for each child, that until they turned the age of 18. And then we went on and offered, 50-50 split down everything.
One of the things I have to do is to enforce the rules of evidence, the same as if you had a lawyer, even though you're representing yourself. There is a rule that says that offers of settlement in civil cases cannot be used as evidence. You can't talk about them because otherwise, okay, if for example, you make her an offer over something that you contest, that you should even have to pay her, and you make an offer to try to just say, I'm going to get rid of it, so I'm going to offer her something. And then she turns it down, and then you come to court and she brings up the fact that you made her an offer when you said, well, I wouldn't have offered her that if I'd have known she was going to try to use it against me. That's the reason.
Understood, Your Honor.
By allowing people to bring in what they discuss in settlements inhibits and reduces the chance that people will actually settle their case. So as a result, there's a rule, it's hard and fast. No settlement negotiations can be considered. Now, you can talk about what you believe is fair. You can talk about that, and you'll be able to testify about what you think is fair and why you think it's fair. But the fact that you may have made an offer and what her response was is not admissible. Okay?
Understood. So what I believe fair, Your Honor, is an equal split down the middle. We've been married we were officially married for 9 years, a little over now since divorce has gone for so long.
How long have you been married?
We were officially married for 9 years, so from 2012, yes, sir. And then now that we've been with regard to the divorce and everything, it's been another couple of years. But yeah, that's I believe it to be reasonable to go down the middle, and I asked for equal time with my children. That was really my only ask. As far as the division of debts, that can be, as far as I'm concerned, that's up to you, Your Honor, at this point. Our property is more or less already been agreed upon. Just a matter of me picking up some of the things that I have left at the house in order for us to just to pick those up. And they've been locked up ever since this started. So.
All right. Then let me hear from Ms. Duke. Thank you.
Judge, respectfully, what we are dealing with here is a gentleman who has brought his children into this divorce. That will be the overriding summary of today's hearing, enough so that we are before this court and we're going to ask that any visitation that the children have be supervised at this point in time. The parties have an adult child who is actually here in the courtroom. The father brought him. Your Honor remembers that child's testimony. I think it's horrible that he's brought the 18-year-old to court. The court's going to hear today that the 18-year-old barely got out of high school. He missed 31 days of school under his father's care. He was not able to walk at graduation, and the father has done a number on that child with regard to twisting the facts in this case.
Let me stop you for a moment. Mr. Patton, are you intending to call one of your children that's an adult as a witness? He's sitting in the courtroom, and therefore he's not going to be a witness unless someone else is going to call him beside Mr. Patton, so go ahead.
He's sitting in the courtroom, and I just bring that to the court's attention because it is another way for him to try to manipulate the 18-year-old and another way for him to try to make mom out to be a bad person. The court's going to see text messages today between the children and the father where the father is wholly inappropriate with the twins that are still minors, making comments, horrible comments about the mother, buying the kids' affection, offering to take them to NASCAR races, offering to do things for the minor children, passing child support payments through the minor children to the mother, making comments about the mother using child support and how she's using it. Just simply not appropriate. And he's done a number on these minor children, enough so that when they come back to the mother for her primary time with the children are angry and upset, make comments to her about, have attitude. I mean, they're at an age where they're going to have attitude already.
How old are they?
They are 12. But one text message, Your Honor, is going to see that kind of, as a mother myself, flew all over me because as parents, you're supposed to back one another's discipline. One of the kids mentions to the father that he got in trouble, or she, I'm not sure which one it was, I can't remember now, got in trouble for having attitude with the mother, and the father sent a smiley face emoji, LOL. Just wasn't appropriate. At all. So Your Honor is going to hear about some of those things. Your Honor is going to hear about the mismanagement of marital assets also. The father, without the knowledge of the mother, bought a vending machine business. I happened to be in court one day and I heard his name called during the proceedings, and there's been a default judgment taken against, best I recall, there was a default judgment taken against Mr. Patton and his business for vending machines that he had purchased. He told this court, I believe, or he told the other party, I believe, that he didn't know where those vending machines were, and I've got pictures of them on the property where he's hiding out. He's got a live-in female in his home right now who I would submit to the court he's probably trying to make the mother of these children. He has sold, during this process when he was told not to dispose of any assets, he has sold a truck. He sold a few other things, Judge, and I've got them listed. But I've got the other thing that he sold. Give me just 1 minute. Your Honor ordered the car wash sold, and both parties would be responsible for signing off on that. He sold it without the wife's knowledge, and it was sold for about $30,000 under what it should have been sold for. It's originally listed for $430,000, and he sold it for $400,000. I will, so that I'm not misstating anything, I did speak with the realtor after the close on the business, and that was the only offer that they had
I was
received.
going to say, there's a limited number of people who would be in the market for a used car wash.
Right, and I agree with that, but the realtor could not, without a subpoena from me, give me the information I was seeking. So she incurred attorney's fees in order for me to find this information out. It closed, she had a marital interest in it, but it closed without her even signing off on it. Upon information, Mr. Patton is currently working for Hidden Valley Lakes. He was working for a horse farm. He said he was doing all of that for free. We found an item on Facebook advertising the job, and it was about $60,000 a year. He's earning, between retirement and VA benefits, he's earning about $7,000 a month from those, and then he's working on top of that. He's told the kids that he's got big plans for them in the future. He's removed the kids from the state without permission. It just goes on and on and on. Your Honor is going to hear about all those things today. There's a lot of alienation going on, and the kids probably need to be in some intensive therapy.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and take my mid-morning recess this morning. It may take a little longer than 15 minutes like we usually use because I've got this meeting with this Utah judge, so we'll stand in recess, hopefully around 15 or 20 minutes.
All rise. I had a set of twins, Your Honor.
All right, so you have an older son. There was some mention of a 18-year-old. You have a son that's 18?
Yes, Your Honor, that's Justin sitting back there in
And
the
is
back.
that your son with her?
Yes, Your Honor, I adopted him here in Charlotte.
All right, so it's her biological child, but you adopted.
Yes, Your Honor.
And what's his name?
Justin.
Justin. All right, and he's 18.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. During the separation, then, or during your marriage, you also had twins,
Yes,
and
Your
how
Honor.
old are they?
They are now 12.
All right.
They'll be 13 in January.
What have you been doing, exercising with those twins in the way of visitation?
Your Honor, you granted that we get every other weekend. We dropped them off, picked them up at 6 o'clock on Friday evening, dropped them off at Sunday evening at 9:30.
What do you want to do? You said you want equal time. Tell me why.
I would have liked to have equal time, Your Honor. I understand that the chances that the decision is going to get adjusted at this point is pretty slim. It would be nice to have an additional week in the summer if we could squeeze that in there so that we could get an actual vacation in. There's some places we'd like to go.
What do you
that
have
we
right
just can't
now?
quite reach. Just a 1 week, Your Honor.
1 week in the summer?
Yes, sir. Everything else works out well. I see them often because I'm a wrestling coach for both the high school and the middle school. So during wrestling season, I see them quite a bit.
Where are you living?
So I live here in Cumberland Furnace. I have a camper that I have rented out down around Dan Maddox Lake in Natchez Trace. And that's where I take the kids usually on the weekends out that way because it's full of everything. We have.
Is that the Natchez Trace State Park?
It's not the state park, sir. It's a private campground.
All right. You heard Ms. Duke in her opening statement
Yes, sir.
talk about what's going on with the children, and that she believes you're trying to, or they argue that you were trying to involve the children in this divorce and trying to turn them against her. This is your opportunity to tell me, what is your relationship with the children like?
Your Honor, we absolutely love each other. We are inseparable. I believe both of them asked to come in here and speak with you, and I told them I didn't think it was a good idea. I said at a minimum, if you would like to, you can write them a letter, but even that is, at this point is probably not necessary. If there's difficulty that continue to occur at your home, down the road, then we can revisit this, and if we have to, we will bring them back to court to discuss and give them their opportunity to speak. They sit along the same lines as Justin when he came in here, sir, and said that he's, not real happy at the house, didn't want to stay there, would like to have equal time. They have asked their mother if they can have equal time, and they have more time with me.
You can't repeat what the children have said.
Oh,
That
my
violates what's
apologies.
called the
Okay.
hearsay rule, so.
They've just asked to be on similar.
I need your microphone turned on if you're going to say.
It's
speak
on,
to me.
it's just not pointed at me. I'm going to ask that he not repeat what he alleges the children have said.
Now, you can't repeat what the children said because that's
Understood? Yes, sir.
hearsay.
Yeah, hearsay. Roger. Yes, sir.
But here, let me ask this. Have you downed their mother? Have you made derogatory comments to the children about her?
No, Your Honor. I don't have a problem with their mother at all. I want her to have a good relationship with the children. I believe they should have a good relationship with their mother. She is their mother at the end of the day. This conflict is between me and her, and that is it. And truly, in my opinion, it's not a conflict. She asked me for a divorce, and I granted her a divorce, and that's the direction I've been trying to go.
All right. So what you're saying is you would like to have equal time with the children, but if not that, you would at least like to have an additional week of the summer visitation.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you paying child support right now?
I am, Your Honor.
How much?
We're sitting right around almost $1,600 a month.
$1,600 a month?
Yes, Your Honor. The court granted $1,490 or put in the order to do $1,490. The mortgage has gone up over the years, and so it's now upwards around $1,600, Your Honor. I believe it's
All right.
like $1,560 to be pretty close.
What is your income?
Between my retirement, I have, I think it's right around $2,200, $2,300 for my retirement, and then
What's your retirement from
the Army.
the
Or
Army?
the military, yes.
So you
and
have a
then-
military retirement of $2,200 a month.
I believe it's more close to 23, Your Honor.
All right.
I've got the numbers over there in the box, but
Well,
And
this
then-
is your opportunity to tell me exactly how much it is. I know they may have been, has it changed since we had the temporary hearing?
Yes, it has a little bit. They've gone up just a touch with just due to the
You need to
normal.
get the copy that shows how much your actual income is. You need to step off and you can go get
Okay.
that. Just go ahead and bring your box up there with you. Yeah. That way it'll keep you from having to make trips back and forth.
Yeah, this is my box. Sorry about that. All right.
What I'm looking for is the exact amount of your military retirement as it currently stands.
Okay, so I was off. It is, so it stands right now as $2,700 a month, Your Honor.
20 what?
$2,700 for military retirement.
$2,700.
Yes,
$2,700. Is that even?
even.
All right. And is that direct deposited into your account?
It is.
Then what other income do you have?
So I'm a 100% disabled veteran, so I receive a VA disability,
Okay.
and that's at 46, 48, 42.
46, 48, 42.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Any other income?
No, Your Honor, not at this time.
So are you working anywhere other than just drawing your disability and your retirement?
I am not, Your Honor. I was told that all work is supposed to, or any kind of job opportunities, anything like that were cease. I was told not to pay off any of my credit card debts or anything
Who
along
told
those
you to
lines.
do that?
This was by recommendation of my lawyer, Your Honor.
Your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. In any event, your disability, does that prevent you from, I know you had the car wash here in Charlotte for a while, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you were operating that, and then that sold. But was there any reason you can't, any physical disability that would require you not to work?
I am full and 100% disabled, Your Honor.
What is your disability based upon? Some people have.
It's based, everything from head to toe. I've had multiple injuries throughout the years, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. And between those two figures, you have a $2,700 and a $4,600, is that right?
2,700, 46, 48, yes, Your
Right.
Honor.
So that comes out to $7,348.42 a month.
Correct.
That's what you're earning, you're not earning, but you're receiving those in the way of.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. What other property is there between you and Mrs. Patton that needs to be divided, if anything?
Your Honor, we have a home located at Woods Valley Road. If that's, we've got, I don't know if you need the address or not. We have a home there. And then I've got a single wide trailer that's in pretty rough shape that we also own.
So the house that you have, does it have a mortgage on it?
It does, Your
Is
Honor.
it in both your names?
It's in my name, Your Honor.
In your name?
Yes,
Only?
only.
Why is the property in your name only?
It's been that way ever since. I believe the deed is in both of our names, but the
All right.
mortgage itself
But
is
the
in my
mortgage
name.
is in your name?
Yes, Your Honor.
But you don't dispute that you acquired it during the marriage, I assume?
No,
You-
sir.
You bought it
No.
during the marriage?
Yes,
All right.
yes.
How much is the mortgage?
Right now, it is I've got it right here. It's 892.26, Your Honor.
That's how much the payments are?
Yes.
$892 a month?
Yes, and that includes insurance and all of
Okay.
that. Yes, Your
What do you think that house is worth?
Honor. We had it, I don't know what you would call it. It's
Appraised?
kind of an appraisal, not a full-blown appraisal. A while back, it was at 190. I believe it's up a little bit further than that now, maybe 230, 260, depending on who you.
It was there was a valuation that was done, and you're saying it was 190?
Back when we did our,
How long ago was
it's
that?
been probably 2 years, Your Honor.
2 years ago? And what do you base the idea that it's now worth more than that?
Everything's gone up, Your Honor. Everything everywhere around where we are has gone up.
So what is your opinion today, as we sit here, of the value of that property?
I believe it probably sits around 235, if I had to guess.
I didn't hear that, Judge.
235? And what is the mortgage balance, if you know?
I'm sitting right just below 150, Your Honor. Let's see if this paper here has, it says unpaid balance 149,861.80.
All right. What are you proposing to do about that house? That's where your wife and the twins live, right?
Yes, Your Honor. Yep. I would prefer not to lose the home. There's no way we're going to get a 2.25 interest rate in today's world. So the chances that, it's getting into another home at this point in time is going to be very difficult for anybody. So if preferable, I've offered to pay her 50% out, and then she can stay in the home until the children turn 18. I have offered to finance the home for her and write up an agreement so that she's purchasing the home, because she said that she would like to have the home. I have offered for her to do 50% payout with me. I have a new offer that I would like to submit to the court, if the court should please.
You can make offers all you want to, but what I need you to know is if you have a suggestion or if you have a position you want me to know about regarding the home.
I believe the best position now would be we take the home and we put it into a trust for the children.
Put it in a trust for the
Yes.
children?
Yep. And then Jennifer will be able to stay in the home until they turn 18, and then at that point in time, the children can decide what they want to do with it. If they choose to rent it out or if they choose to sell it, then that would be up to them. But I think that would be best for all parties involved at this point in time. That
Right.
gives them all a place to stay. They're comfortable there. They're used to it. It doesn't change their schedule or anything along those lines. I think that makes the most sense.
But you understand a trust means you're relinquishing your ownership of that property and putting it in the name of this trust for the benefit of the beneficiary, what you're saying would be the minor children.
100%, Your
And
Honor.
you
I
can't-
purchased this property for that purpose. It was for my family in the beginning. It was supposed to be a rental property from the get-go.
All right. What other items of property do you and she have?
As far as the smaller stuff,
Well,
we've got
I'm
a
talking-
lot of small stuff, Your Honor.
Well, what about vehicles?
As
Let's
far as
start with the
vehicles, so I have a 2018 Land Rover,
2000,
18 Land Rover.
all right. Does it have a debt?
It does.
What is the debt?
It is sitting around, let me see. Oh, I don't have the amount that I owe on it here, Your Honor. I believe it's right around $24,000. My payment on it is $550 a month.
Right. And what do you think it's worth?
It's probably worth right around $24,000, $25,000, what I owe on it right now, Your Honor. It's fairly new. I haven't had it very long.
What other vehicles do you have?
I have a 2005 Ram 1500, and it is paid off. And it wouldn't be worth much. It's an old pickup. I've got 250,000 miles on it. So maybe $3,000, $4,000 maybe. It's in pretty rough shape.
Anything else?
Jennifer has I believe it's a 2002 Ram pickup.
What?
2500 Ram pickup. I believe it's a 2002. And I couldn't tell you what she owes on it or what she's paying on it. I believe it's around maybe a $25,000
I'll hear
value.
from her about that. I'm talking now about anything that you may own
Okay.
or have an interest in. What about this trailer that you said you have, a camper trailer?
The single wide trailer, I have a single wide trailer that's probably not worth very much as well. I paid $1,000 for it back when I purchased it in 2002.
Okay.
And then the camper trailer is not mine, it's rented.
Oh, I see. Okay. So are you living in the single one?
I am, that is my
That's
residence at the
current-
moment.
your
Yes, Your
residence.
Honor.
All right. Any other items? You said there are small items of property where I have to make a decision unless the two of you agree. I have to decide everything.
I understand, Your
between the two
Honor.
of you.
Yep, I
So-
believe that's why we're here at this point.
What are you saying that items of property that you want to have?
I have a handful of tools, reloading supplies, things of that nature, all stored in the shed at the home where Jennifer lives. We've got it all divvied out on another separate form. It's all been submitted to the court. I believe it's all been pretty much accepted at
Maybe
this
a
point.
marital and separate property list?
Judge, there's not an objection to that. If he's saying the only things that he's wanting are the tools and the reloading supplies out of the shed, that's perfectly fine.
So is there anything besides your tools and your reloading supplies? Have you got all your clothes and personal items?
I believe so, Your Honor. I don't believe there's too much left in there. I think it's just a handful of tools, and I've got a work lathe in there, and then of course Justin's got his stuff over there.
We're only talking about you, so.
Right.
All right. So
The lathe is a contested item.
what is?
The lathe, he just mentioned, he said, I have a lathe in there. That is, I guess, the only contested item then.
What is it? What is this? Is this
I've got
lathe?
a gunsmithing lathe, Your Honor, that I just purchased before this divorce started. I've never even had an opportunity to use it. I'm sure it's contested because it's actually valuable. So if they want to contest that and they want to split that up and sell it, let's sell it and be done with it.
Any idea what it's worth?
Probably, so it's brand new, it's around $8,000.
We have a buyer for $5,000. We've not sold it, but we've got a buyer.
Yes, it's already been listed online, Your Honor, well before this, so
Are you okay to sell it for $5,000?
that would be fine, Your Honor. Let's be done with it.
All right. Anything else that you can think of property-wise that we've not dealt with?
I do have an enclosed trailer. I have a Kubota tractor. Those are all listed in that as well.
Do you have a listing of property that you are saying that you have?
Yes, Your
submitted?
Honor, I do. Would you like a
You
copy?
might want to make a copy as an exhibit.
I'll need to see it also, Judge.
Miss Duke, it's the same as what we've had this whole time.
I'll still need
Well,
to see it.
It may be, and I'm sure that we're not questioning that, but it needs to be made an exhibit, so we'll need to show it to her.
Miss Duke, I don't have a secondary copy, I don't believe. I'll look real quick and see, but
That's okay, I just need to look at it. Oh, this is a settlement offer, Judge. I don't know that this,
Well, he can refer to it solely for the purposes of identifying any other items.
yes, that's the purpose for it, Judge. I have another one that I could pull out from way back the original one that we did, if that would suffice.
In this particular list, the vehicles were identified as a 2008 Mini Cooper. Is that still in existence?
Yes, Your Honor.
She has it. What about your 83 Jeep Wrangler? Do you still have that?
I do.
What is it worth?
Not much, Your Honor. It's a bucket of rust.
What about your enclosed 14-foot trailer?
Yes, Your Honor, I have that.
Now, this shows you have a fifth wheel camper. Do you?
We sold that, Your Honor, and the funds were put into the court, submitted to the court along with the funds from the car wash.
So looking at this, I'm seeing that you have, according to the fifth wheel camper has been sold and the proceeds in the clerk's registry. And then the Sleep Number mattress and accessories, you were saying that that's something you want.
I have that, Your Honor.
You do have it. all
Yes.
right. Then you got a smoker grill,
Yes, Your Honor.
and do you have possession
I
of
do.
that? And the mill or the lathe combo that we've talked about, that's one that we're selling for $5,000. And then you got an exercise bike. Do you have that?
I do.
Then you got a 70-inch TV. Do you have that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then your guns registered and gifted to you. Are you in possession of all the guns that you think you're entitled to?
I am, Your Honor.
And any idea what the total value of those guns is?
Couldn't
How
tell
many do you
sir.
have?
Probably close to 25.
All right. Do you have them insured?
They are not,
Well,
unless homeowners covers it, but I
you
believe
probably
I
to
do
make
have it under my
You
homeowners.
probably have
but-
to make a specific listing for an
Separate.
addendum to your insurance to have them covered, I would think. But I don't think you can just say, I've got 25 guns and they'll be
Yeah.
covered.
I haven't looked at it, Your Honor, in quite some time.
My point of that is that if you insured them, you might have a total value. So,
Understood, sir.
and then you've got your single wide trailer, which you say you paid $1,000 for.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. Anything else that I'm going to make, you have any objection to me? I'm not considering this as a settlement offer. I'm just using it for his identification of those items of property.
No, the only objection I have to is I believe the Wrangler is a 1973, but I was going to cross-examine.
So it's even older than the 83.
It's pretty old.
It's a classic
It's
would be
pretty
the
old.
argument.
Well, I got a 2002 that I consider to be a classic, but, all right. Mark that as exhibit, please. All right. So what about debts? That's the only other thing, I guess. And Ms. Duke, I apologize for, I know it sounds like I'm his lawyer trying to ask him questions about his case, but it really is just trying to move this thing along, so,
I don't have a problem with it. Thank you, Judge.
all right.
I appreciate it as well, sir.
Mr. Patton, what debts do you have personally?
All right, so I consider the joint cards mine, Your Honor. I offered to take those from the get-go. I have a military star card. I apologize, I didn't have the balances on here on this. This is
You've
just
got
my
a
worksheet.
military.
This is just my income expense worksheet for purposes of child support. I don't have my my actual laid out debts on here. So, I mean, I can give you a roundabout, but they wouldn't be on.
Well,
Correct.
obviously, are you going to pay the debts in your name?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you know how many there are?
I have, so I would be taking on the Military Star card and the Capital One card. I've got a small Harbor Freight card that's almost paid off. There is,
I'll resist the idea of saying what's in your wallet on the Capital One card, but what do you owe Capital One?
it sits right around 9,000, Your Honor.
9,000. And
What was that? I missed that.
9,000.
on
I
Capital
apologize. I
One.
keep moving this mic, but it's not going to be in the right area.
All right.
Military Star card sitting right around 6,000, sir.
And is that a card that's just a credit card? I'm not.
It's a credit card, yes, Your Honor.
So you got a $6,000 debt on that, $9,000 on the Capital One. Any other debts?
We have a Care credit card that's sitting right around 1,200.
What kind?
Care credit,
Care credit, is that for medical care?
it was, Your Honor.
And who's paying that?
I am.
And it's $12,000. Are you willing?
No, Your Honor, it's 1,200.
1,200, okay. Are you planning to continue to pay for that?
Yes, Your Honor, all of our joint cards is fine.
Judge, one point of clarification probably needs to be made, because I think you're making a list of all of these things. That care credit, and I will give Mr. Patton the benefit of the doubt, I don't think he knows, but it's coming out of her account every month, so it's actually on her side. I don't think he knows that, and I don't think she knew it until she looked into what it was that was coming out of her account, but she's got the care credit.
That may be correct, Your Honor. I know it was set up originally that way, and then I thought it had switched over, but it may still be coming out.
All right.
But I don't mind taking it, if that's.
Well, we'll figure that part out in a little bit. What other debts? Any, other than the mortgage?
We have the mortgage. I have a personal loan. It's sitting right around 23,000.
Personal loan?
Personal loan for
Who is that?
23,000.
Where
It's
is that?
through One Main Financial.
A courtroom warning turns intense as the judge says lying under oath is a felony. The father claims he just wants a fair 50-50 split and peace, but the mother's lawyer hits back with serious accusations, manipulating kids, inappropriate behavior, and financial issues. Tension rises as both sides clash and the judge steps in to focus on facts over drama. What do you think? Fair or red flags?
And that personal loan for $22,000, is it secured by any sort of security, any collateral?
I don't believe so, Your Honor, no.
All right. And are you making payments on it?
I am,
And how much are your payments?
right at like $640 a month, I believe.
And then what is your payment on your military star card?
It's 117, Your Honor.
117 a month?
Yes.
What about the Capital One?
Capital One is right at 200.
Are those the minimum payments?
They are, Your Honor. That's what I was told that I was supposed to pay.
All right. Any other debts?
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
So we've covered,
Did we discuss the tractor? The tractor's on there as well, Your Honor.
The tractor?
Did we discuss that?
We had not discussed that.
we have not discussed the tractor. What kind of
It's
tractor is it?
it's on there as well. So I've got a Kubota B26 backhoe.
And it's a tractor with a backhoe?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that used on the property? What do you use it for?
It is. I've used it for multiple things. I've been digging ditches and working roads. And
Where is it?
I've got it over at Hidden Valley Lakes right now, Your Honor.
You've got it where?
It's called Hidden Valley Lakes. It's a gated community out in Hickman County.
All right. And what are you doing with it at Hidden Valley Lakes?
Just doing general maintenance and upkeep.
Do you get paid for that?
I do not, Your Honor. They give me access. I get paid of sorts. They give me access to the big shop that they have out there, which allows me to go in and do as I please in the shop and work on cars or whatever I choose to work on.
What is that? Was that Kubota, was that bought during your marriage?
It was, Your Honor.
What is it worth?
So we're sitting right around $24,000, $25,000, and that's what's owed on it as well.
So it's worth what it's owed on
We're about even right now as far as what it's owed and what's owed on it and what it's valued at, Your Honor. So we could potentially put it up for sale at this point, excuse me.
it? Well,
We
this
tried.
this is the point where I need to know, what are you asking me to do about this?
I would like to keep it, Your Honor.
All right.
yeah,
And
I would
if you
like to
keep it, are you going to pay for it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything else?
Do a quick check. I believe that is it, Your Honor.
Right. So we've talked about the grounds. You agree you want to be divorced, whether or not it's to both of you or to her alone, but you dispute some of the allegations about what she has said there were. You've talked about the children and what you want to be done with them. Talked about the property division, the money from the sale of your car wash, is that deposited with the clerk's office?
Yes, Your Honor.
How much is that, do you know? Okay.
In total, I believe we're sitting right around $26,000.
$26,684.25. All right. Okay. Anything else that you want to tell me about before I let Ms. Duke cross-examine?
As far as there was an allegation made that a vending business was purchased, Your Honor. The vending business so there were 3 different businesses that I started to move on to purchase well before the divorce ever started. When the divorce started, every one of those got shut down. There was an incident where this gentleman did try to take me to court. There was, he actually got all the way through to a final, whatever you call it, a final judgment, I guess it's called. And at that point in time, it was brought to my attention that was actually in play. I didn't even know it was occurring at the time. So thankfully, it was brought to my attention, and I was able to have a conversation with that gentleman and get it all shut down. So we did go in front of the judge, and we did say that there was, we would do whatever the money was that was discussed in there. But I actually made an agreement with him outside of the situation to get this all taken care
So
of.
do you owe this gentleman money?
I do not, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So you started to move on purchases of some business, and then with the start of the divorce, that basically stopped that.
Everything got shut down, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything else?
I believe that's it.
Ms. Duke, you may cross-examine.
Sir, you owe on a Lowe's card too, correct?
We do, yes.
Okay, so you
I
didn't
missed that
mention-
one.
You didn't mention that one.
Yes, it's right at $5,000.
You've got a white van that was used for the vending business, correct?
I do not.
Okay, where is it now?
I've never had one.
Okay. To transport your vending products.
When I worked for the vending company, we used the white van. It's the vending company's van.
Okay. And you purchased the vending company in May of 2022, correct?
I did not.
Okay. So you purchased it as Pang Wangle Investments, is that correct?
Our original contract to purchase the vending company was written up through Pangwangle, yes, ma'am, but it was not ever purchased. For one, Pangwangle can't purchase a vending company because it's a real estate company, and I found that out later that that's actually not allowed. And then, of course, the divorce occurred, so everything got shut down.
Own a real estate company also?
Pangwangle Investments is our joint real estate company that my wife and I opened, yes. That would have been back in around 2020, I believe.
Okay. Judge, may I approach?
You may.
Yes, it appears so.
And is that parked on the property?
No, it's not.
Is that parked on the property?
It's not.
Okay, tell me where that property
Oh, you mean this, you're saying in the picture, the property in the picture? Yes. That appears to be. No, it's not. That is the van is sitting on the property of where the single wide trailer is, Your Honor.
It'll be the second exhibit. This is a photograph of what, Ms. Duke?
It is a white van that our position is that he has owned it during the marriage. Tell me what type of van that is, sir.
It's a cargo van.
Okay, and what is the make and model?
Yeah, I believe it's a Nissan, right? I
Wait.
couldn't tell you the other piece. It's a Nissan. It's a small cargo van.
Okay. Now, you said you did not purchase that vending machine business, but you agree with me, sir, that you ran that vending machine business, correct?
No, ma'am. I worked for the vending company for a couple months, as stated previously.
Sir, you understand that anything that you say today that's not true is perjury, and you can be held criminally responsible for anything you say.
I'm aware.
And that you are under oath before this court today, and you're stating that you only worked for this vending company. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, may I approach the witness?
You may.
Call on February 3rd, 2025, wherein you agreed that, based on a fallout between you and Mr. John company, that you would pay him a budget.
To the court, yes, ma'am. That's what we decided.
So can you tell this court why? $1,000 for a vending machine company that you don't own.
So Mr. Trotter and I came to an agreement outside of court, and in order to just move it through court, we agreed to what was being put in court, just to get it through court,
Okay.
rather than stand up here and argue it.
Okay. So
So the
you,
exhibit that we've introduced, is that the actual judgment entered by the General Sessions Court,
it's a judgment entered by circuit court
Circuit Court?
against Mr. Patton and Pang Wangle Investments for the vending machine company.
All right.
Sir, you had those vending machines on your property, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And your position before this court is that you were just helping run it. You did not own it.
Ma'am, I worked for Mr. Trotter for about 3 months, maybe 4 months, and then he asked me to move the vending machines that he had in storage to a property. I told him I could do that.
Okay. And during that time period, Mr. Trotter sued you because you wouldn't give those vending machines back?
No, ma'am, that's incorrect.
Okay. Mr. Trotter sued you because you had not made good on your agreement for purchase of the property?
No, ma'am, we didn't have an agreement for purchase.
So help this court understand why you agreed to a $157,000 judgment for a vending machine company that you had nothing to do with, other than you helped run it.
Just to get through court, ma'am.
Why would Mr. Trotter have sued you if it was, you guys were just trying to get through court?
So Mr. Trotter lost touch with the person that actually purchased the vending business, and then the only contact information that he had was for me.
Okay.
Through Penguingle, but Penguingle was set up through the car wash, so there was actually no contact information for me. So he pursued a lawsuit to try, this only avenue he had to try to rectify his situation.
And you agreed that there was a breach of contract and you entered a judgment against yourself for $157,000.
No, ma'am, there was no contract.
Okay. Then why would you agree to a $157,000 judgment against yourself?
To help Mr. Trotter move forward with his situation.
Okay. And Mr. Trotter had an attorney, Miss Rhonda Crabtree, that came before this court and put this on record. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And during this time period, unbeknownst to Mr. Trotter, you were trying to sell the vending machines online.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Sir, you go by Donnie Kinzer online, is that correct?
No, that is not correct.
Okay. So what do you go by on Marketplace when you're selling items?
I have one profile that is under my name,
And what is your name?
Donald Patton.
Okay. So your position is you never tried to sell the vending machines?
Correct.
Okay. You agree that you took possession of these vending machines, and these are, Judge Manfred,
May,
these are copies of the vending machines that you had.
No, I mean, I have some machines that are similar.
Cut down those machines after we provided Ms. Crabtree with that information.
Ma'am, they were never lost, so I don't know who was tracking what, but they were never missing.
Exhibit 4.
Did you sell any of those machines, sir?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So you didn't collect $4,000 on any of those machines during the pendency of your divorce?
Have not.
Okay. Judge, if I may approach.
May,
The vending machines were under this cart on your property, is that correct?
Correct, and they still are?
Exhibit 5.
Do you know what year that white van was, the cargo van that you've been using?
I'm not sure.
Have you made any payments on that cargo van?
I have not.
Okay, do you owe anything on that cargo van?
Ma'am, it is not my van.
Okay. Your enclosed trailer, do you owe anything on it?
The black enclosed trailer, the 14-foot, no, I do not.
Okay. How much is it worth?
I'm not sure. Maybe $5,000-$6,000? Just a rough guess.
And where is it located?
It's set over by the single wide.
Your Harbor Freight account, how much do you owe on it?
I think I'm down to like $250.
$250?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
The
And
Harbor Freight account?
yes, sir. He mentioned the Harbor Freight account earlier, but he did not say how much was owed on it. Now, during the pendency of this divorce, you recall that at the pending light hearing, the court said, do not dispose of any assets. Do you recall that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And during the pendency of this divorce, you got rid of the 3500 truck. Is that correct?
That is incorrect.
Okay. Tell me what you did with the 3500 truck.
The 3500 was sold before we ever even filed for divorce.
Do you have the bill of sale on that?
I'm sure I do somewhere.
Okay. How much did it get sold for?
I can't recall.
Okay, and where did the proceeds go?
They went to my pocket.
Okay. Do you remember if it was more than 10,000?
I believe it was.
Do you remember if it was more than 20,000?
I don't believe so. I think we're sitting right around 16,000.
Okay. And what month and year was that sold?
I believe it was back in probably around May of 22, maybe earlier.
And the divorce was filed in August of 22, is that correct?
Towards the end of 22, yes.
Okay. And your testimony before this court is that the only reason that you filed the divorce on August the 8th of 2022 was because your wife asked you to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When you were helping run the vending machine business, how much were you making every month?
I'd have to go back and look. It's been a while since I've looked at any of that. I don't believe it was very much, like $300-400 a week maybe.
Okay. So is it fair to say that you were making about $1,500 a month doing that?
I'd have to go back and look, ma'am.
And for Hidden Valley, your testimony before this court is that you're doing all this digging and road work and fixing things up around there as general maintenance, but you're not getting paid anything.
Ma'am, I'm out there not very often, but yes, when I'm out there, yes, it's voluntary.
Okay. And you were working for a horse farm. Do you recall that?
No, I do not. I worked for a farm out towards McEwen.
Okay.
I've got a buddy out there that owns a farm, and he asked me to come out and help him.
Help manage it,
until
right?
until he could get some additional work out there.
Okay. And how much were you making?
Nothing.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the trailer. What is the address that that trailer is at?
The single wide is at 996 Woods Valley Road, if that's what both of my trailers are there.
Okay. So both of your trailers. Tell me how much the first one is worth.
The enclosed trailers out there, as we've already discussed, and then the single wide is.
The black enclosed trailer
Yes,
is
ma'am.
what you're talking about. And the single wide trailer, how much is it worth?
I couldn't tell you. I've put a couple $1,000s into it to make it livable. I purchased it for $1,000. I've not had anybody out to appraise it or look at it.
Okay. And your son Justin is living there, is that correct?
He is.
Okay. And there's another family living there. Who
There
is
is.
that? Who is that?
They are temporary there. They've been on and off throughout the last year.
Okay, who is that, sir?
Her name is Brittany Parker.
And does she have a husband that's living there also?
She does not.
Okay, does she have a boyfriend that's living there?
No,
with her?
ma'am.
Okay. How much is she renting that for?
She's not.
So you have somebody living in a marital asset and you're not collecting any rental income?
Correct.
Okay, tell the court about that.
Okay, she has double breast cancer. They've removed both of them, and she's gone through chemo and radiation, and she's recently just had a full hysterectomy.
Okay.
And she has 3 children that she lives with, or had that live with her that need to be taken care of, and they didn't have any place to stay, so I offered them to stay there.
Did you discuss that with your wife?
I did not.
Okay. Now, you agree with me that that single wide trailer is a marital asset?
Sure,
Okay.
if that's what the judge deems it.
Now, is Justin paying any rent for living there? He's 18 now,
At the
right?
moment, he is not, no.
Okay.
That is something we have discussed and will be addressed in the near future.
And you heard me, strike that, I'm going to go back to that in just a minute. You said the single wide trailer is your residence, but I think what you meant is that that's your mailing address, is that correct?
That is my residence, ma'am. That's
Okay,
where
when
the
was the-
judge had me move to when we started this whole process.
When is the last time you spent the night there?
Last week?
Okay. And when you're not staying there, you're staying in the camper down at, I couldn't hear what you said.
Natchez Trace.
Natchez Trace.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that's with Miss Rachel, your paramour, is that correct?
A paramour? What's a paramour?
Hey, Miss Rachel's your girlfriend, is that correct?
We hang out together, yes. I wouldn't consider us a full-time boyfriend, girlfriend, no.
Okay. And no doubt you've had your children down there with her?
Yes,
Okay. And no doubt you've had a romantic relationship with her, whether you decide to classify it
Sure,
as a
yes.
half relationship, half not?
yes.
Okay, you understand, sir, that you're still married and that that's adultery?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So when you testified earlier that you had not been with another woman, you misspoke.
When I had not been with another woman.
When you said earlier that you had not committed adultery, that you had, in fact, you misspoke.
Oh, you're saying as far as the allegation of cheating, which started the divorce? Two separate situations.
No, sir, you're still married, you understand that?
Yes.
And so within the marriage, any
Sure. So you're saying I'm
infidelity-
committing adultery at the moment? Sure.
Yes, so
Okay.
you misspoke earlier because maybe you didn't necessarily understand that.
Well, I was talking about a different situation, but yes, sure. That's,
And you agree with me that when we were here previously, that this court didn't believe your position about why you went to Knoxville and stayed with a female in Knoxville and came back prior to the divorce beginning?
that was not what was discussed when we went to Knoxville at all.
Okay.
So, but I mean, yeah.
But the court found it hard to believe that you weren't going there to see a female, is that correct?
I don't recall what they said, but I went there to see a buddy of mine and not a female. He was a Navy buddy of mine that I worked with for many years.
Out of a 2-week period of time, how often are you staying at the residence that's in this county?
I'm there often. I usually spend weekends down at the camper.
Okay. But you said that last week was the last time you had stayed at the trailer, the single wide trailer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, why did you strike that. Why, in regard to the vending machine company, sir? I'm going to say it was purchased. I know that you dispute that it was purchased.
Okay.
Okay. Can you explain to the court why, when it was purchased, you paid $50,000 for it out of the operating account from the car wash? Why would you spend $50,000 and not purchase that? What was the $50,000 for?
Ma'am, there was never $50,000 in the car wash ever
Okay.
in its entirety.
Okay, where did
So
you-
there was no $50,000 to purchase this vending business that you're saying I purchased.
Okay, where did that $50,000 come from that got paid
Well, I
towards the
mean,
business?
if you want to show me $50,000, we can go purchase a business. And
We'll
I
do
don't
that
have
when my clients
$50,000.
takes the stand. And your testimony before this court is that an attorney advised you that you needed to stop working altogether.
So any kind of new jobs, any kind of financial, like big financial moves, any kind of selling of anything, any movement on credit cards, everything was supposed to be bare minimum until this court proceeding was complete.
Have you told your wife that you haven't had Rachel around your children?
No,
You told your children to keep secrets about that?
no.
You've taken Rachel on vacation with you back on July the 4th, is that correct?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been separate for over 3 years.
Okay, and you paid for the dinners and the meals and things like that?
Some of them, yes.
Okay. Now, we went through the discovery process in this case, and you produced certain items showing bank accounts and things like that. Tell me about your U.S. bank account.
My U.S. bank account.
You bank at U.S. Bank, correct?
I do now.
Okay. Tell me about that account.
I just opened a new account, would have been close to the beginning of this year.
Okay. And you've not provided the statements for that, have you?
I have not, and I have, yeah, I have not.
Are you hiding assets in that account?
I am not.
Okay. Why have you not provided statements for that account?
We haven't done anything, ma'am, in the last year.
Okay. You understand that everything was continuing in nature, and if you opened up an account and put money in it, that we needed to know about that.
I was not aware of that.
How much money is in your U.S. bank account right now?
Currently, maybe like $40.
Okay. Where's your other money going?
You're talking about my USAA or US bank account? ma'am?
Your U.S. bank.
So US Bank has probably like $30, $40 in it right now. My USAA bank account is what my military fund goes into. It's my checking account, what I've used for years.
And how much is in that account right now?
If I got paid, it'll be my standard payment.
So about $7,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, if that's going through.
When do you get paid?
On the first. Sometimes it comes in a little earlier depending on when the first lands.
And you've provided, is that the account that the kids have debit cards that you've given them on?
No, ma'am.
Which account has debit cards?
That's called Greenlight. It's and more of like an app.
Okay. Have you given the kids access to debit cards?
They have access to their own little business, their own little debit cards, yes, through that.
Their
through
own
that
little
app.
business account. Tell the court about the business that the kids are running.
They don't have a business yet. They had one a while back. We called it Tiny Tots when we ran it there at the car wash. They haven't opened one since.
Okay. And Rachel, your girlfriend, is controlling those bank cards. Is that correct? You've allowed her access to those?
Her child also has a bank card as well, so she has access to that account.
So the question was, you've allowed her access to your children's accounts, bank accounts, through Greenlight?
Not directly, no. I mean, she's on there. She can see what they have. I don't know that she's got control of that.
Well, she can turn them on and off. You've said that in your text messages with the children, right?
She may be able to.
Okay. Well, why are you questioning that she may or may not be able to when you?
Well, I don't know the entirety of what she's allowed to do on there. She may be able to turn them on and off. I couldn't tell you. I'd have to look. But her son has the same bank card, is what I'm saying.
The minor children had phones. The two 12-year-olds had phones. Is that correct?
They have phones, yes.
That they came from their mother's home with. Is that correct?
They have a phone that they bring from their mother's.
Okay. And you bought them 2 phones to have at your home when they're at your home.
So the phone that their mother has for them was broken and not in good condition. So I purchased them new phones that they would have their own individual phones, and their mother told them they could not have them.
Okay. Did you discuss that with the mother before? You did that?
I don't recall, but probably not.
You understand that she's the primary residential parent and makes the
Yes, I'm
final
aware.
decision on things.
Sure, that's why they're still with me.
Is it fair to say that mom is a little more strict with the minor children than you are?
Being that she has them for a significant amount more time, yeah, she's going to be more strict. If I had them in equal amount of time, I would be just as strict.
And you agree that sometimes you undermine her authority with the minor children by laughing off one of them having an attitude in a text message?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Okay, tell the court about why you would do a funny face when...
Ma'am, we already discussed this as far as my daughter and I and what was going on in the situation. And we figured she was going to get grounded when she got home, and she did, in fact, get grounded.
So you had a discussion with your daughter about the anticipated repercussions for something your daughter did, the repercussions being that of what Miss Patton was going to do to her when she got home.
We had a conversation about it, yes.
Sir, why, if you knew she should be in trouble, did you not discipline her yourself?
Ma'am, I don't agree that she should have been in trouble. She was, I mean, we can discuss the situation and the topic that she had, but no, I don't agree that she should have been in trouble. And I don't agree that all of the stuff in her room should have been completely taken out and she has nothing in her room and no closet door and her door's locked and all of that. Like, that's a little excessive.
Okay. And you are not co-parenting, but you're counter-parenting when you're having those discussions with your daughter, correct?
No, I disagree.
Okay. Well, tell me, did you pick up the phone to discuss with your wife that maybe you didn't agree with how she was going to handle the
We had
situation?
a conversation through text message, yes.
Okay. And instead of coming to a mutual agreement, you decided to undermine her.
No, ma'am.
Undermine, I'm sorry, not undermine.
No. Not at all.
Justin, who's sitting here in the courtroom, correct? Other than to try to paint your wife in a bad light, why did you bring him here today if he wasn't going to testify?
He asked me to come here to be here on my behalf.
Okay.
to be supportive as a father and his mother.
Well, he's not sitting on his mother's side, is he?
I mean, he can scoot that direction if you'd like him.
And this 18-year-old had an almost fatal accident, correct?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
was in the hospital,
Yes, it was very scary.
and you failed to notify the mother, yes or no?
No.
How long had he been in the hospital before you chose to notify her?
He was in the hospital for a couple hours.
And you agree with me, sir, that he's just graduated high school, is that correct?
Oh, a year ago. Well, I guess he graduated, yes, he
In May.
graduated in May, yes.
And that this child was not allowed to walk at graduation because he had 31 absences from school, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that was on your watch?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the accident was on my watch as well.
And this is the same child that you allowed, at the temporary hearing, it came out that you had allowed him to drive without a license back and forth to Clarksville.
That's incorrect.
Do you recall that
I recall you stating that, but that is incorrect.
testimony? And the court found it to be that he drove back and forth to
Incorrect,
Clarksville?
yes.
And that the child testified he drove back and
He
forth to
didn't.
Clarksville?
That's incorrect.
Okay. So the court and the court order are wrong, but you're right.
We can go back and listen to it if you have it.
How many, well, strike that. Do you recall a text message with one of the children where you say, "I have big things in the works. I'm so excited.
I mean, it's possible.
I'm going to have to make a trip to Colorado soon to see Grandma and Grandpa again. Rachel and I were thinking maybe we should go visit the Badlands in South Dakota for our trip this year. It's not a bad beach. It's not the beach, but it could be kind of cool."
Yes, I recall that one.
Okay, so
Yep.
you recall that. Tell me what was in the works. What big and exciting things were in the works? Another business that you were going to buy?
I'm not exactly sure what that one is right at the moment,
What
off
was
the
the
top of
time
my head.
frame on that?
What now?
What time frame are we talking about on this message?
That was in June of this year.
Right?
May, late May.
I'm not sure what which one that would have been. I
Well,
mean,
tell me-
I'm
tell me
thinking about,
what-
I've got different ideas all the time, miss.
Tell me what ventures you plan to get into around May of this year.
Around May of this year,
Uh-huh.
I don't have any ventures right at the moment. I'm hoping that this gets done, this divorce gets done, and then I can start acting on some different things that we've been looking at.
Oh, so you can actually go back to work after the divorce is over with, is what you're testifying to the
No,
court
as
today.
far as moving forward on some of the ideas that I have.
Okay. And we were talking about the green light card just a minute ago, and you were discussing with your children why you had their card shut off, that Andrew had made a purchase he shouldn't have made.
Andrew got a,
In court, the father outlines his finances: mortgage, a $23,000 personal loan, credit cards, and a tractor he wants to keep, while admitting limited income and shared assets. Under cross-examination, tensions rise as he denies owning a vending business despite a $157,000 judgment, faces questions about hidden assets, a van, and living arrangements, and admits to a relationship during marriage. The judge watches closely as contradictions and credibility become the key issue.
what do you call it?
Subscription?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you. He ended up getting into a subscription that he didn't realize he got into, and it kept trying to charge his card, so that's why I locked his card, so the subscription would stop.
And a minute ago, you weren't so sure about what access Rachel had, what she didn't have, but you clearly state in here that just tell me before you want to buy and I'll unlock it, or Rachel can as well. And you're talking about unlocking the debit card, correct?
Sure, she may be able to, yes.
Well, she may be able to. You state with absolute authority that Rachel can as well.
Okay.
Okay, so do you want to go back and restate what you said earlier?
What would you like me to say? She may be able to unlock the card, ma'am. I don't have access on her phone. I haven't looked at it. She may or may not be able to.
You
If
s-
she has my phone, she can unlock the card as well.
Okay. So now she absolutely can unlock the card, right?
If she has my phone, she would be able to, yes.
And you state to the kids, my mom was not a fun person to be with, and I survived. None of her kids like her now as well. It's kind of sad.
The true statement.
Okay. And you go on to say that you miss them and that you're going to try, let me go back. Tell me why you would make that statement to your children if you weren't trying to plant a seed with them about their mother.
We can go back and look, but there was some discourse going on at the house at that point in time, and there were some things that were said about their mother that they said to me, and so that it was just me having conversation with them.
Okay. But instead of having conversation with them, don't you think the conversation should be between you and the mother of these minor children?
Ma'am, Jen and I don't discuss anything unless it happens to be picking them up and dropping them off.
Then you go on to tell them, you're the fun time dad, is that fair?
Ma'am, I see my kids for a matter of hours, so yeah, I would say that that's probably more of a fun time for them.
Okay. Say, I'm going to try to get you to go to a NASCAR race with me.
We went to a NASCAR race,
Okay.
yes. I had
And-
free tickets.
And you say, hopefully your mom will approve, otherwise we will have to leave.
For them to stay longer.
Okay. And so that was something that you put on the children before you had even discussed them getting to stay with their mother.
No, ma'am, we discussed it and she told them no. That may have been later, but we did discuss it. And it was a valid reason. I believe Andrew had summer school.
Okay. And that you've told them that you're planning a big trip to Santa Maria and then over to Panama City.
Abby would like to have gone to Panama City. So last year we went to Santa Maria and then bounced back up for 4th of July to Panama City. So we were looking at potentially doing that again this year, but
Okay.
it didn't work out.
And that was one of the trips that you'd taken with Rachel, correct?
That was the only one, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, it wasn't the only one because you've been to the Smoky Mountains with her too, and the kids.
No. Yes, you're correct.
Okay. In this same text message, you say, any idea when your mom's going to let you go on vacation? Okay.
Yep.
Why would you not pose that question to the mother instead of the children? That paints her in a bad light with these kids. Do you understand that?
Why do you believe that paints her in a bad light? So I have had many discussions with Jen about when I can have them and when I can't have them, and usually she comes up with a whole schedule for them throughout the summer. And for whatever reason, she didn't do that this year, so we just hadn't talked about it at that point in time.
Okay.
So it was just hinted to the kids, hey, has your mom mentioned anything yet at this point in time? And they hadn't heard anything
Any
either.
idea when your mom's going to let you go on vacation, indicating that she wasn't going to let them to go on vacation?
Well, we didn't know that if she was going to or not there for a little while.
I was going to try to get you guys for dinner Thursday, but you know the answer to that, and you send them the scrolling text conversation between you and the mother.
Okay.
Is that appropriate in your mind?
I guess it depends on what was in the text message.
Okay. Well, you tell me what was in the text message.
I couldn't tell you off the top of
Okay.
my head. I'd have to look
What
at
would
it.
be your purpose in sharing that with the children other than just saying, we can't get together tonight?
So that they can see what's going on.
Okay, why
With
would you
everything,
put your
the
children
situation.
in the middle of this?
They've been in the middle of it from the beginning. They don't want to live full-time with her. They want equal and shared custody.
Because you have painted a bad picture of their mother,
No,
just like you
absolutely not.
did
It's
with
because they
Justin.
love their father and they want to share time with their father. And that is it.
Unless you can convince your mom to let me pick you up early. It's you putting your children in the middle again. Did you say that to them?
Sure. Children sometimes have a way to convince their parents.
Okay. In a text message that goes unanswered, you say, "It feels like it's been forever since I've been able to see you guys. For some reason, I thought I was picking you up today, and Rachel reminded me that I didn't have you this weekend. Hopefully the weather will be nice and you guys will get outside to do something fun this weekend." It went unanswered.
Okay.
Okay? They love you so much that they responded to that text message of you telling them that you missed them and wanted to see them and made a mistake.
Yeah. If Andrew has the phone, he rarely answers back.
Duke, you have much more to go.
Yeah, I've got quite a bit. It's
Let's
all
go ahead and
along
break
the
for
same
lunch
lines.
then. I don't want to cut you short, but we'll go ahead and take our lunch break.
Okay.
Stand in recess for lunch until 1:30.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Patton, you have shown your minor children the divorce paperwork, correct?
I believe Abby read them when they were on the table.
Okay. Is there a reason you wouldn't have put those away so that the minor children wouldn't be exposed to what's going on in the divorce?
They just happened to be on the table and she read them.
Is there anything about your statements earlier that you need to correct?
I don't believe so.
Reason she's asking you that question is that a person who lies under oath, and I'm not saying you have, but a person who lies under oath during a judicial proceeding commits a felony of aggravated perjury, even if it's in a divorce case. And trust me when I tell you there are plenty of lies that get told. But a person who commits perjury has the right to recant prior to them stepping off the stand. And if they recant and correct their testimony, then it's not actually consisting of perjury. Ms. Duke's a very good lawyer, so she's giving you an opportunity to reconsider any of your answers if there's something you need to change. So that's the reason she's asked the question.
Yes, Your Honor.
Understood.
Is there anything you'd like to correct?
No, I don't believe so.
In these text messages with the kiddos, you've talked about purchasing another large trailer. Is that correct?
I would like to down the road, yes.
Okay. And you've had them involved repeatedly picking out trailers.
Yes, they've looked at some.
Okay. Getting them excited about a trailer? You getting them excited about a new camper?
I mean, that's not necessarily the intention, I guess. I mean, it's something I would like to do in the future, and I would like their involvement.
And your trailer, or in the camper, I'm sorry, where they stay right now, don't have their own bedrooms.
Their own bedrooms in a camper, no.
Okay. Judge, if I may approach.
You may.
Kids are staying, is that correct?
That is the bunk beds in the camper.
Correct?
Yes.
6.
So the minor children don't have a room in the camper where you're staying, do they?
No.
Okay. Do you recall this court telling you to fix up the trailer so that you would have a place to live with the children?
I recall that they said that I had the ability to make it inhabitable.
Okay. And instead of moving into the trailer, you've moved into this makeshift camper with your girlfriend and the minor children. Is that correct?
We have not moved into the camper, no, ma'am.
When was the last time the children stayed in the trailer?
The single wide?
Yes,
It's been
sir.
quite a while, yes.
Okay. And they wouldn't even have a room right now because you've moved another family into that trailer.
That's
Is that
correct.
correct?
Yes.
If you let me finish asking the question, and then you can answer, okay?
My apologies.
Now, the kids had a conversation with you via text about getting in trouble with fighting with one another when they're at their mother's house. Do you recall that conversation?
I do not.
It's been recently. You asked them how they had gotten in trouble, and they said, "We were arguing, and Mom got on to us, so I got mad at her." You recall that? And then you said, what were you arguing about? "I need to have you guys put on the gloves when you come over here." And then you explained that you're going to buy them boxing gloves.
They have boxing gloves already.
So you were making light of a situation that the mother was trying to correct in her home. Is that accurate?
I don't believe the situation was really explained. It sounds like they were fighting, and they do often.
You remember talking poorly about Jedediah? I'm going to have you explain who he is in a minute.
Do I remember talking poorly about Jedediah?
You call him JW for short, is that correct?
Yes.
And JW is your girlfriend's son, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and he lives in the camper with you some of the time.
Yes, they visit the camper as well, yes.
Okay. And he's there when your children are there sometimes?
Sometimes, yes.
Okay, where does he sleep?
That camper sleeps 10.
Okay. And you tell the kids, I'm glad you weren't here because you guys would have been fed up with JW. Do you recall that conversation?
I don't recall this conversation, but I'm sure it's accurate.
Do you recall telling the kids that all of their Temu stuff that you had bought had come in?
I'm sure I did.
Okay, and that
I mean, I don't know when that
had
was or what time frame that was, but I bought a lot of Temu stuff over the
and you
last couple of years.
told Abigail that you'd gotten she and Andrew something, but maybe I should hide it until Christmas.
Okay,
Do you remember that?
not really.
Okay. Do you remember what it was that you'd gotten them?
I know some of their Christmas gifts that I got them, yeah.
Do you remember talking about the children have a maternal grandmother that lives on the property at the marital residence? Is that
Correct.
correct?
Yes,
And she's kind of acted as a caregiver for your children over the years. Is that fair?
since she's been there on the property, yes.
Okay. And the kids have a good relationship with her. Is
I
that
believe so.
correct? Okay. Do you remember talking poorly about the maternal grandmother to the children in a text message?
No, and I wouldn't do that.
Okay. Do you remember saying about the mother, well, when you treat people bad and you lie to them, they tend not to want you in their lives?
No.
Okay.
What is that with regard to?
I don't know, you just
Oh,
asked
okay.
the question.
I'm not sure.
This was back in September of '24.
Okay.
Do you remember telling the kids that she's always going to take your mom's side? She's an enabler?
No.
Okay. You want me to come over there and show it to you?
No, I'm sure I said it. I don't recall saying it, but if you, you've got it in text message,
Do
so
you
I'm
recall
not gonna
why
argue it.
you would say that about a caregiver for the minor children?
Why I would say that about their mother?
Uh-huh.
Because she is an enabler.
Okay. Do you remember telling your daughter you should play dumb blonde and say, I know it's right, it's just so cray? Do you remember telling her to do that?
No.
Okay. You want me to approach?
Again, I mean, if it's in text message, then I said it, but I don't use the words cray, so that's interesting. You should play the dumb blonde. Oh, I don't know, and I don't know what it's in response to.
Telling your child to act one way maybe that she shouldn't be? Down lower in that text message, did you see that you said stupid is as stupid does when you were talking about the mother? And the
Is it about her grandmother?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe it is.
You tell Abigail you can't argue with them, just let them be. Stupid is as stupid does. So if that wasn't about the grandmother.
It could have been her friends. It could have been anybody that we have conversations about.
Well, is it appropriate for you to say that to a child about anybody?
Stupid is as stupid does?
Yes.
I mean, it's a pretty common thing that people say.
But not to their children.
Why?
They're
They've
innocent.
got to learn. They're 12 years old. They're a lot more mature than you lead them to believe. Or you're making it seem.
Isn't that a line from Forrest Gump?
It is.
It is, Your Honor. And you pass the child support checks through your children, don't you?
I have handed them to have Abby or Andrew carry in every once in a while, yes.
Okay, is that appropriate, sir?
I don't see any reason why it's a check.
Okay, well, you've made comments about the amounts of money that you're having to pay to the mother for child support and the mortgage, haven't you?
With regard to what?
You're the one answering the question,
Have I
sir.
made comments about child support?
Yes, about having to pay child support, and you're letting them know by handing them a check how much it is.
Child support is child support.
Okay,
I don't have an issue paying child support, never have.
and you don't have an issue with your children knowing how much you're paying?
Absolutely not.
Do you recall telling Abby about saying, it's okay, I'm going to miss a bunch of stuff unfortunately. If I pick up this job I'm looking at, I will be gone more, as well as like we talked about.
Yes.
What job were you going to pick up, sir?
I was offered an opportunity to work out of Kuwait,
For how much?
$75,000,
Okay, and why did you not take that, sir?
because I would be gone 90% of the year, or
Okay.
whatever. I'd be gone 9 months of the year.
But you were preparing your child to be gone.
I have discussed with them that there might be opportunities and options, and I may end up taking one at some point or another, if the money is correct, yes.
You may. And what is it we just marked?
7. You talked to Justin about the lathe being sold?
He brought it to my attention.
Okay, did you know that he contacted his mom
He
and threatened her?
he threatened her? No, I did not know
Okay.
that.
You're still under a court order. You can't sell Dad's stuff or mine. Dad is asked to come get these things and you won't let him. When has she ever told you you couldn't get your things?
Multiple times. She asked that she wanted to be there present, and I've asked her to let me know a time that we can pick them up, and she will not.
She's never denied it though, has she?
She
She's never
has.
denied you.
Yes.
Do
She
you have
said I
any-
am not allowed to come pick stuff up unless she's on the premise.
That's not denying you, is it?
It is, because I should just be able to go get it. It's my house, it's my stuff. But I will abide, I don't have an issue meeting her there and picking stuff up. That's
Matter
not-
of fact, you told Justin that she wasn't allowing you to come onto the property to get your things, but that too is a lie. Correct?
Everything is locked up, so that would be, no, that's not a lie.
You told Justin that she was trying to sell it behind your back.
No, I did not.
Now, we're going to go back to Pang Wangle Investments. You understand that earlier you testified that you didn't know anything about the complaint that Mr. Trotter filed until you just happened to be in court one day and found out about the motion for default, right?
I found out about it when you passed it off to us.
Okay. And Judge, if I may approach.
You may.
At 11:30 a.m.?
Yes, no, ma'am.
Okay, so you're saying that everybody else is a liar but you?
I was never served, ma'am.
Okay. Do you see that summons shows that you were served on that date and it says
I
Donald
see that
Patton
somebody
correct?
wrote my name down and said that I was served, yes. And it was submitted or given to somebody at the car wash, yes.
Exhibit 8.
And after you reviewed the complaint that John Trotter had made, you understand that he said, Pang Wangle Investments is listed as the buyer of the equipment in the equipment bill of sale. Donald K. Patton is listed as the buyer in the promissory note.
It says that in his complaint, yes, ma'am.
So you signed a promissory note, is that correct?
Ma'am, as previously discussed, John and I had an agreement at the beginning, way before our divorce ever started. That is the agreement that you're discussing right now.
Okay. Well, he discloses in his complaint that he's filed before this court, before circuit court, that you signed a promissory note. Are you saying today in this court that you did not sign a promissory note?
No, we did. I'm telling you, this is the contract, the original contract that we had from the beginning, before the divorce and everything started. And it never came to fruition.
Well, something happened because you had possession of vending machines.
I had part of his vending machines, yes. I picked them up from the storage unit as he requested me to.
And you were stocking vending machines regularly, taking Justin with you to stock those machines.
In the very beginning, yes,
Okay.
of our divorce.
And he said Donald K. Patton did enter into an equipment bill of sale May the 31st, 2022, and a promissory note dated May 27th, 2022, for the purchase of the turnkey vending business for a purchase price of $266,000.
That's correct.
Okay. And this was on a date after you had already met with your attorney and signed your complaint for divorce, correct?
It could be.
Okay. And that Donald K. Patton and Pang Wangle did pay the sum of $50,000 deposit for the equipment on May the 31st, 2022. You understand it says that?
Yes.
And that your agreement was to pay him at a rate of $3,000 per month for a period of 72 months to cover the additional purchase price of the property. Okay? And so you agree with me, sir, that the full purchase price of the business, of the vending business, was $266,000. Is that correct?
Sounds right, yes.
Okay. And you entered into a judgment that we've already entered as an exhibit for $157,000 against you, correct?
Yes.
So you had $109,000 of equity in that business at the date this judgment went down. Is that correct?
No, because it wasn't my business.
Okay. Judge, if I may approach.
You may. This is the complaint for Trotter. Okay.
Sir, you entered into that agreement in late May, presumably after you had already met with your lawyer and had instructions not to do anything else, correct?
I would have to look at the timeline, but we shut everything down immediately after I had my discussions with my lawyer.
Okay. And hid all those vending machines under a tarp at your home?
No, ma'am, they're not hid. They have to be covered up. They are electronic machines.
You sell stuff on Marketplace, is that right?
I haven't in a long time.
When was the last time you sold something on Marketplace?
Couldn't even tell you. It's been a long time.
So you're saying that if we ran the email address and everything that comes back to the Donnie Kinzer account, that none of them would add up to you?
Correct.
It's just a coincidence that there's somebody by the name of Donnie locally selling a ton of vending machines exactly like the ones you had.
I don't believe that the picture showed me was locally, but
Okay. Well, it was in the Clarksville area and in the Murfreesboro area. You were on several different Facebook Marketplace sites.
oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying that the machine locations were in Clarksville area.
Locally, yes.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Since the divorce was filed, you've done everything you can to dissipate any asset that was of any value, haven't you?
No, ma'am, that's not correct. I haven't dissipated any asset.
One last chance before I show you.
Okay. I do not believe I have dissipated anything other than we sold the car wash and the, whatchamacallit, the shed with it.
Not an active participant in the purchase of the
We did not purchase, I did not purchase the vending company, no.
Didn't sign a promissory note?
I did sign a promissory note and an original agreement to purchase the entire vending business, yes.
Why did you not tell me that earlier, sir?
I did. I've told you 3 or 4 times that we had an original agreement that started all before the divorce proceedings began, and we shut everything down.
You also said that you didn't own the white van, correct?
Correct.
You understand in the state of Tennessee that you can't register a vehicle you don't own unless you own a car lot?
Okay.
Okay. You registered that vehicle under Pang Wang. Wangle Pang. 2016 Nissan was registered to Wangle Pang in Charlotte, Tennessee. 2016 Nissan van. You acquire that from Jeffrey Elliott, or are you co-owners?
I have no idea who Jeffrey Elliott is.
You see that you registered that vehicle,
I
correct?
see that that's what the paper says, yes. It was registered for a small period of time, yes. Correct. That was part of the original agreement.
And so you're saying that after the divorce was filed, that you got rid of that asset?
The vehicle went with all of the rest of the business stuff, miss.
And so today, since you've not told the truth about those things, are you failing to tell the truth about your work with Hidden Valley? Have you been paid a dime from Hidden Valley or from anybody doing work at Hidden Valley? Have you been paid any money for work you've done?
No, I have not.
Okay. And you're capable and able-bodied of doing the work?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a reason you didn't disclose to me earlier that you had temporarily registered that vehicle?
I didn't recall registering it, miss.
Did you sign off on a bill of sale when you say you got rid of that vehicle?
I don't know.
Okay. Did any money exchange hands for that vehicle?
No.
Okay. Why not?
Why did no money exchange?
Yes, sir.
Because the business got shut down. I didn't get into it.
How much was that white van worth, do you think?
I couldn't tell you.
Now, monthly, you're living in a camper that belongs to somebody else, correct?
I visit at a camper often, yes. I mean,
Okay. I'm not fussing at you about that. I'm just asking for expense purposes.
yes, I'm not living out there, but I do visit it often.
Okay. Well, do you have a room of your own at the trailer?
At the single wide?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Okay. But your children don't have a room?
No, Justin and I both have a room.
Okay, you share a room with your 18-year-old son?
I do not.
Okay. How does that family fit in that trailer if it's a single
They
wide?
have one whole side.
Okay. So you don't have any living expenses right now, right?
Electric and water and internet.
How much is electric?
I think it's been averaging $150. Right around $150.
Okay, and you've got how many people in that home?
Well, it'd be, right now, there's 5 of us.
Okay, and you're paying that electric bill
Yes,
by yourself. And the water bill there?
$30.
You have a gas bill there?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Excuse me.
So your only living expenses right now are $180.
I've got internet as 120 as well.
Okay, and there are 5 people on that?
Yes.
Okay. What other expenses do you have, sir?
I've got my expense list here.
Okay,
which
well, let's talk through 'em.
It needs to be updated. So we had child support.
Okay.
The,
Child support is how much, sir? Is that $1,500 total?
child support's supposed to be $14.90, but I've been paying 1560.
Okay. And 800 of that goes towards the mortgage, is that correct?
890.
Okay. What else?
I have the, yeah, you got the mortgage now. Got a $100 lease, land lease for the, what the single wide sits on.
Well, let's talk about that. The owner of that property passed away, correct?
Yes, they were married, yes.
So who is your lease with?
With Rachel Martin, the co-owner of the property.
Okay, do you have a copy of that lease?
I do, but I don't have it on me.
Okay. And you're saying that you're leasing that piece of land for $100 a month?
Yes,
Okay, when was the last payment that you made?
it just went out
So do you pay on the first of the month or
the
the end
first
of the month?
month.
What are your other expenses?
We had the Kubota tractor,
And how much is that?
700.
What else?
Phone bill,
How much is that?
I think it was right around, this last month was like 250.
And who all is on that phone plan?
This is myself and Justin. And Abby and Andrew.
Any other expenses?
We got Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance,
And who's the beneficiary on that?
that's the kids,
And how much is that per month?
91.
Have you changed the beneficiary on that since the filing of the divorce?
No, ma'am, I have not.
Okay.
We've got all the credit cards we discussed earlier.
Okay. What else?
Vehicle insurance.
Pardon me?
Vehicle insurance,
Whose vehicles do you have insured?
that's the Dodge Ram and the Rover.
And how much is that?
I think it's right around 290.
Justin is driving the Rover, correct? I mean, the Dodge Ram, is that right?
We switch back and forth, but he has the pickup right now.
Okay. Tell me what else.
Let's see, we've got utilities, medical copays. I've paid a bunch of the medical bills recently. Not a bunch, we had one bill.
Regular and reoccurring is what I'm looking for.
Payment, we already talked about. I believe that's about it.
Okay. So I'm going to show this to you. Just make sure that's
Just going off the top of my head and what we have here. I believe the phone bill's a little bit more expensive. I think it's actually 300.
In court, the father is pressed over messages showing he involved the kids in adult conflict, criticizing their mother, sharing private disputes, and putting pressure on them about visits and vacations. He admits some statements, but downplays intent, while also facing questions about living in a camper without proper space for the children and making inconsistent claims about finances and assets. The judge focuses on credibility and whether his behavior is harming the children.
Yes. We've got you didn't do any of the credit cards, and then you didn't do the, okay. Yeah, we've got the credit cards, we've got the Kubota, we've got the, yeah, that personal loan.
I've got them in my notes.
payments that you're making right now, sir?
Harbor Freight's not much. I think it's like right around $30, $35 a month. Capital One is right around $200 a month. Military Star Card is $117. And then we had Lowe's. I can't remember what Lowe's is. I think it's right around $200.
Okay, are you paying that monthly?
The Lowe's?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
You just don't remember?
I don't recall how much it is. It's on automatic. They're all, and for whatever reason, it's not on my list here, so. We're gonna be pretty close. I mean, it's not necessarily 100%, but it should be pretty close. Yeah.
Exhibit 11.
Was Kinzer your last name before you were adopted as a child?
Yes.
So you're just saying that it is completely happenstance
I'm
that
sorry, what? Repeat that?
Kinzer was your last name before you were adopted, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So it's just happenstance that Adonnie Kinzer on Facebook was selling vending machines.
Donnie Kinzer could be my brother. He goes by Donnie.
Okay. Well, does your brother have a vending machine company?
No, he does not.
Okay. What is happening with all your overage income every month? Where are you putting it?
My overage income, the remainder of what I have,
Yes.
it goes to food and, of course, driving.
Okay.
And then if our trips, we save for trips and anything else that we do.
So where are you saving for trips? Where does that money go?
It stays in my bank account.
Okay. Have you gotten a plush amount somewhere?
No. I wish.
Judge, if I may have one moment.
You may. I have a couple of questions.
Yes, sir.
I understand that there is a tendency to want to minimize things, especially when you are in trial and so forth, and you're worried about how it's going to make you look. And I understand that, and I don't hold that against people. But what I do hold against people is when they just flat out lie to me in a courtroom, especially when they're under oath. And I'm not saying you are, but I want to know I want to know how exactly you explain the fact that there is no judgment against you for $157,000 when I've got a copy of the order that says that is as announced in open court, the parties have reached a full settlement agreement as follows, and they go on to say that plaintiff John Trotter, his heirs shall receive a judgment against the defendants Pang Wangle Investments and Donald K. Patton jointly and severally in the amount of $157,000 plus post-judgment interest for which execution may enter. Now, it sets up a payment arrangement of $1,500, a month. It also says he can go to the real property that you own, and remove any and all vending machines that remain on that property, and that you would receive credit for the fair market value of said equipment. Now, you have taken the stand today and under oath have testified that there was no judgment entered, that you had an agreement with him. So I'm going to ask you, that just tells me right there that there is a judgment against you for that amount. Is that true?
Well, let me rephrase then, I guess, Your Honor. So John Trotter and I came to an agreement outside of court. And in order to just kind of appease the court, we went through and
Well,
went
it's not,
through.
you don't appease the court to,
Well,
it's not, let me just say, judges don't have a vested interest in the outcome of a case. If they do, they shouldn't be hearing it. So Judge Larry Wallace had no interest in whether or not you all arrived, you agreed on something and put a judgment down, or whether or not you didn't. So
Yes.
it wasn't to appease the court. But if you and Mr. Trotter entered into an agreement to enter a judgment, and you understand we can always subpoena if necessary, or the district attorney's office can investigate it by subpoenaing the people that were involved in this transaction to determine whether or not there's any truth to what you're saying. But you're saying Mr. Trotter and you arrived at an agreement to enter a judgment, but you don't consider that to be a valid judgment?
yes, I guess that would be correct. It's valid with regard that it went through the court, but we have come to an agreement outside of court on a
Okay,
completely
so
different basis.
Outside of the courtroom, despite this judgment being in place, you've come to an agreement.
Yes, sir.
But you understand, he could tomorrow go to the clerk's office and ask for an execution against any and everything you own.
Yes, sir, I'm aware.
To satisfy the $157,000.
Yes.
Do you have any written agreement between you and Mr. Trotter that shows what this subsequent agreement is that you and he entered into?
At this time, we do not. It's something that we've been working on.
Now, I'm not the sharpest guy on the bench. I'm not the smartest person to ever hear a case. But when I see the Facebook Marketplace indications on these copies that have been introduced where vending machines are being sold, and someone who, remarkably, Donnie Kinsner, has his picture on here with a beard and so forth. And that picture is Donnie Kinsner selling vending machines. And your name is Donnie, obviously Donnie Patton, but you were Donnie Kinsner before you were adopted. And you tell me that is not you. And you understand the district attorney's office, if this is referred for a possible investigation of perjury, can, through their investigator, go back through Facebook, subpoena. I sign them all the time to get the background information, and it can be determined who actually has that account. So I'm going to give you one last opportunity to tell me, is that you that's on that Facebook Marketplace selling those machines?
No, sir, it's not.
All right. Then he stands on his answer, and we'll find out whether or not there's any truth to that or not. All right, step down. You may.
Have your son place those, his account there, and make a Donnie Kinzer account?
No, ma'am.
Do you know whose account that is?
It very well could be my brother's, ma'am.
You have a brother named Donnie?
Yes, sir, I do.
You ever see the Bob Newhart show? Years ago,
I
the Bob
have.
Newhart show would come in and says, hi, I'm Larry, and this is my other brother, Larry.
This,
I mean, is
hi,
there
I'm
two
Larry, this
people
is my
named
brother.
Donnie Tensler in your family?
So my name is Donald. I do go by Donnie. His name is Donovan, and he occasionally goes by Donnie as well, sir.
Okay.
There were two Daryls in that show, Judge. It's one of my favorites.
Was it Daryl and not Larry?
Daryl and Daryl. Yeah.
Whatever.
That was my, do you know anybody that created this account to sell vending machines?
Ma'am, I'm not sure whose account that is. It very well could be my brother's. We have discussed different businesses at length. So it very well could be.
We'll find that out eventually. Step down. Do you have any other witnesses?
Myself, Judge?
You're the only witness, correct?
Yes.
All right. He has rested his proof, Ms. Duke. You may call your first witness. Patton, if you'll come to the stand.
During the marriage, can you tell the court what you were doing as far as your place in the marital home?
I was a stay-at-home mom for most of it until I started nursing school.
Okay. And have you completed your nursing degree?
I have.
Okay. Do you have certain debt associated with that nursing degree?
I do.
Okay. During that time period, where was Mr. Patton? I wanted to call him Mr. Kinzer. I'm sorry, Mr. Patton.
He was off and on deployments. Sometimes he would be home, sometimes he'd be deployed. Towards the end of it, he was stationed in New York.
And during that time period, were you still caring for the children 100%?
Yes.
During that time period, was he using his monies on himself?
Yes.
Okay. Were you having to keep the family afloat here in Tennessee?
Yes.
Did you incur significant debt trying to do that?
Yes.
Okay. Did you incur debt on credit cards and other means, other places?
Yes.
You may. Did you show that to Mr. Patton?
Yes, I did.
His piece?
Yes,
Is that a comprehensive list?
it is.
Have several of those gone to collections
Yes.
since this divorce has been going on?
It has.
Have you done your best to try to make monthly payments towards those?
I have.
Okay. Judge, I'd submit that as the first marked, as
The
the 12th exhibit, Judge.
Are these all credit card debts?
Credit card and the Kubota is on, I don't know if we put the Kubota on there or not, 'cause she's not paying.
Has she been paying the Kubota deal?
She is not, so we did not list it on there. He has been paying the Kubota.
Yes.
And are those approximate amounts that you're paying right now?
Yes.
Judge, I'd submit that as the next marked exhibit. Yes, sir. Personal property, have the two of you divided most of those except for those two things that
Yes.
he asked about, and then the lathe is to be sold, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And you agree that that's an even split, and he can take his and you can take yours?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, the Kubota is still in line, the lathe is still in line, is that correct? Will you add?
In line, what do you mean in line? Yes.
But those are your major assets right there that are still divisible, is that correct?
That's correct.
Based on the information you've been provided regarding the vending machine business, during the course of the marriage, does it appear as if there was about $109,000 in equity before it was disposed of?
From what I've learned today, yes.
Okay. And the Kubota, do you value it higher than what is owed on it?
Yes.
Okay, how much do you value the Kubota at?
About 26,000.
And what is owed on that right now?
23,756.
Okay. Did we go over this list just to make sure that it was
Yes.
accurate? And do you agree with all the values you've placed on real property and the assets within the marriage?
I do.
Okay. Judge, I'd submit that as the next marked exhibit. The single wide's on there and everything else, correct?
Yes.
Based on being the disadvantaged spouse, are you asking this court to award you alimony and child support in this matter?
I am, yes.
Okay. And are you asking for the court to keep the parenting schedule the same, but that Mr. Patton's visitation be supervised?
Yes.
Okay. Or that there be therapeutic visitation put in place to make sure he stops talking to the minor children about what's
Yes,
going
ma'am.
on?
Yes.
You reviewed the kids' cell phones to find the information that I asked Mr. Patton about today. Is that correct?
Yes, I did.
Some of their messages and videos, were they deleted on
Yes.
their phones?
Yep.
Did it concern you that the minor children are deleting information from when they're with their father?
Of course.
Okay. Do you try to keep your minor children in line in your home?
I do.
Okay. Do they attend school regularly?
Yes.
And are they late, tardy, or miss school often?
No.
Did it cause you concern when your oldest child was living with Mr. Patton and was at risk for not graduating?
Yes.
Can you tell the court a little bit about that?
I can tell you collectively, if I were to put together the attendance records of all my children from kindergarten all the way up to graduation, they've missed maybe together 10 days. So when I started seeing Justin not going to school, it did concern me. Significantly concerned me, because it's a very important part of growing up, and being responsible and graduating. And I was in fearing that he wasn't going to be allowed to graduate, period, because he was missing so many days.
As a mom, were you able to enjoy graduation, see your child walk across the
No.
stage?
No, I went in the hopes that they would at least call his name, but no, I wasn't able to.
And was that because he had 31 absences?
That is correct.
Okay. When the minor children come back from visitation with their father on Sunday, do you have difficulty getting them settled?
Sunday night's usually not too bad. They're excited to be home. It's Monday. Monday is the rougher day of the week, they're very angry and lots of attitude, not wanting to follow rules. And then usually by Tuesday or Wednesday, we kind of settle back into our routine.
Okay. Are the children giving you a hard time when they get in trouble at your home?
Yes.
Okay, tell the court a little bit about that.
So Andrew, he's the boy of the twins. He's had a couple of outbursts. Not very many. He's a very sweet boy, doesn't want to see bad in anybody. But Abby has definitely been giving me a run for my money, if you will. She's full of a lot of anger and, a lot of attitude, a lot of entitlement, a lot of, well, I get to do it at Dad's, so I'm just going to do it here too, kind of behavior, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work in my house.
Do you catch the kids saying things about you that have come from the father?
Yes.
And are you concerned that there's a lot of negative talk in the father's home about you?
Yes.
Okay. Are you concerned, when he started passing child support through your children, did you make a concerted effort to meet him
Yes.
outside to get that check from him?
Yep.
Do you think in any form or fashion it's appropriate for a child to be given a child support check to deliver to you?
Oh.
Mr. Patton effectively alienated you from your oldest child.
From Justin? Or-
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And when he had to be life flighted in Louisville, you heard his testimony earlier. Did he contact you?
No. Mm-mm. I found out. I have, me and the kids are on Live 360, so we follow each other, so we know where we are. And something in my gut, they were with their dad that day, and something in my gut said, just see where Abby's at and Andrew's at. And they were heading up to Louisville, so I thought, well, he's going up and doing something fun again. And about an hour later, I thought, well, let me look again to see where they ended up. And they ended up in a hospital. And I sent him a message, hey, why do you have the kids at the hospital? Is everything okay? Nothing, no answer. I asked him again, what is going on? Why are they at the hospital? No answer. So then I messaged my daughter, Abby, why are you at the hospital? Is everything okay? And she responded with that Justin was in an accident, but he didn't want me to know, so I have to talk to him about it.
But the father didn't want you to know, so you had to talk to him about it. Is that correct?
No, that Justin didn't want me to know.
Okay.
And it wasn't until about 5 or 6 hours later that he did, in fact, respond to me and tell me that my son was in the hospital.
And so those text message timestamps would show that Mr. Patton lied about telling you about it. Is that correct?
Yeah, he told me everything's fine. That's what he said to me. Everything's fine.
Okay. And you found out after the fact that your child was in fact life flighted. Is that correct?
Well, I don't know if he was life flighted or taken by ambulance, but I know that he receives bills from a life flight company, Air Flight, I think.
Okay. Now, your two children are involved in extracurriculars here, is that
They are.
correct?
Yes, ma'am, they are.
And when I say your two children, I understand you have more children, but
Yes.
the two that are still
The
minors.
two minors.
Did you, and you have one older son, Alex, is that
I do.
correct? And did you come to find out that Mr. Patton tried to convince Alex to come here today also?
I sure did.
Okay. Let me go back. Your two youngest children, Andrew and Abigail, they're 12 years old, is that
They are.
correct? Mm-hmm. And she loves cheer.
She does, and she's so good at it.
And have you caught waves from that child that perhaps the father is talking badly about cheer with her?
I have.
Okay. And your son, Andrew, what's he going to do this next year?
He does soccer in the spring.
Okay. Does dad show up for those things?
He has on occasion, not very often. During the cheer events, if wrestling season is up, he doesn't come to any of her games, especially during football, or as long as wrestling season is in, he's not there. He has come to, after the season's over, he comes to every once in a while a cheer game or a soccer game, yes.
Now, earlier we discussed a truck
Yes.
that nobody really knows what happened to that truck, so it's not even on your assets list. But did you look for the truck online and find it?
I did.
Okay, how much was the Dodge Ram 3500 that Mr. Patton had when this divorce was filed listed for sale as?
60,000.
Okay,
For how much?
60,000.
Pull that microphone base towards you a little bit. You don't have to scoot up, but just pull, there you go. 60,000?
60,000, yes, sir.
And are you saying this is the same truck that he had?
Yep. That is the one that he had traded in. It was for sale at it's the dealership
is it
in,
Nick Meyer?
yes, in Dixon.
And between the filing date versus when that truck was actually sold versus, are they all right in there together
all right in there
sometime?
together, yes.
So you can't testify to this court for sure that it was sold prior to or after the
cannot.
filing of the complaint?
I can't.
You heard Mr. Patton testify earlier that he had met with his attorney prior to entering into and signing the promissory note in May. To your knowledge, was that truck listed for sale at Nick Meyer in May of 2022?
No, I found it listed in August, I believe.
Okay. You heard him come clean about his relationship with Rachel today, is that correct?
Yes.
Has he told you via text message that the kids aren't around Rachel?
Yes.
Okay. Where has their phone pinged when they've been at visitation with their father?
The campground that Rachel stays at.
Okay. And that's, you heard him testify, that's his camper, or that's her camper, I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Has he told the truth about anything today?
No.
Okay. During the marriage, did he hide money from you?
Yes.
Okay. During the marriage, did he make financial decisions without consulting you?
Yes.
Okay. And is that one of the reasons that this led to the divorce?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have reason to believe he had had a relationship with a woman in New York?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have reason to believe he had had a relationship with someone in Knoxville that he went to visit during the pendency of this divorce?
Yes.
Okay. And did he leave your 15-year-old at the time in charge overnight with your children?
Yes.
You were a night nurse at the time, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Had he disclosed to you what he was doing?
No.
And his rendition of what happened in the Pendenny Light hearing, was that even accurate today?
No, ma'am.
Are you asking this court to award you the home and the equity and ask that Mr. Patton be required to continue to pay the mortgage note until it's paid in full?
Yes.
Okay. Are you asking that he be allowed to keep the Kubota and the other assets that he's already got in his possession in exchange for you being able to keep the home? And is that equitable in that he got $109,000 worth of equity out of that vending machine business?
Yes.
Okay. Are you asking that this court continue to have him pay you child support?
Yes.
Now, currently, are you earning $52,000 a year with the school system?
Yes. The school system just got a little bit of a increase, so I'm up to 52. Yes.
Okay. And is that just a $100 or $200 less than you were earning at the Pendenny Light hearing date?
The November.
Yeah,
I was earning more then because I was a night shift nurse at the hospital.
you were earning about $4,500 a month, correct?
Yes.
And now you're earning around $4,200 a month. Is that
Before
correct?
tax or after?
Before.
Yes.
Okay. And based on that number, are you asking the court to set your income at the $4,200 or the whatever 52,000 divided by 12 is?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Maybe 4,333 is what it is, actually, $4,333. Are you asking that, based on the father's testimony, that he be imputed at his original amount from the Pendenny Light hearing at the $13,113?
Yes.
Okay. In your mind, is he capable of earning that?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Did he ever, during your marriage, and I'm sorry for laughing, during your marriage, did he ever do anything of his own goodwill, offer ditch digging services to friends and family and
No,
house an entire family for
No.
free?
no,
Does something about that seem off to you?
yes.
Okay. Did you find out that he had been working for a horse business in McEwen?
I did.
Okay. And did you look for that job where it was listed?
I tried to look for it. There was a listing that had popped up that was offering it for, it was relatively like $60,000 a year for a ranch manager.
Okay. And when you found out and that was mentioned to counsel at the time, did he start working at Hidden Valley Lakes instead of at the horse farm?
I'm
Or
not
did those
really-
coincide?
I feel like they coincide. I mean, he had been doing both of them.
You heard him deny that he allowed your 15-year-old to drive without a license to Clarksville. Do you recall Justin's testimony?
I do recall that testimony.
And Justin admitted to driving to Clarksville from Charlotte.
He did, on a driver's permit.
And seeing that he's been looking at large campers for himself to purchase, are you concerned he's got a wad of cash sitting somewhere waiting to purchase until after this
I do.
divorce is final? Is there anything else you'd like to tell the court?
I come from a divorced family, and I know how hard it is being a kid, being in a divorced family. And I can tell you, my mom never put me in the middle of the divorce. And I stress to my kids every single day that I have them, stay out of it. Stay out of it. It's none of your business. This is between me and your dad. It has nothing to do with you guys. We both love you. We love you, and we just let us figure it out. We will figure it out. And that's not what's happening. You know, my daughter comes home and she's very angry, and during her outburst, she'll ask questions, and I can't even defend myself. All I can say is, baby girl, your dad's made some decisions. He's made choices, and choices have consequences. That's all I can tell her. And I feel like I'm on repeat because that's all I tell her, you know, and that we both love you, and you have to be respectful. And, you know, I even tell her, don't let me find out you're being disrespectful to your dad or to Rachel. You know, don't be disrespectful. But I don't get the same courtesy. It's not their place. They don't need to be involved in any of it. They should never be put in a situation where they have to pick, where they have to choose between one parent or the other. Never, never, Justin, should you pick a parent over the other.
Are you concerned that he is trying to alienate you from these two minor children?
Yes,
Okay. Are you concerned that if visitation continues as it is, that will too happen?
it will happen.
Judge, that's all. You'll stay right there.
Okay.
Mr. Patton, you are acting as your own attorney. You have the right to ask questions. You're not required to. So you may ask questions of her, but they must be in a question form. You want to ask questions?
Your Honor,
All right. Then I have a few questions to ask. You had indicated in your testimony, Mrs. Patton, that you believe that there was $100 and some odd thousand in equity. Ms. Duke asked you about this vending business that he had to sell. Did you know anything other than the fact that there was an agreement signed that he was supposed to have bought this business and that he ends up with a judgment against him? Do you have any other reason to believe that he got actually money from that?
I know he was working for them, and that's the extent that I knew. I knew about the cash that he was receiving from it, because I had rode along in a couple of the times that he had filled up vending machines. And that was discussed in our last court date when we had the 3 days. As far as I was under the what he had told me was that the owners of the company kept the credit card receipts, but he got to keep the cash for filling up the vending machines. That's as far as I knew of it. I knew no idea that he had purchased the business at all. None.
In court, the father details his monthly expenses, but struggles to explain missing debts and income, while the judge questions a hidden $177,000 judgment and possible vending machine sales tied to him. The mother then testifies she carried the family financially, faced mounting debt, and accuses him of dishonesty, hiding money, influencing the kids, and poor parenting, asking the court for support, the home, and supervised visitation to protect the children.
All right, and there was some testimony by him or somewhere along the way about the fact that your daughter, in a disciplinary thing, that you had removed everything from her room and took the door off the hinges or something like that.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me more about that?
Absolutely. This last time, he had the twins for a week for summer. And again, we've been on Live 360 together for quite some time, the twins and I. And I had started noticing that they weren't keeping the phone on when they were at their dad's house. And, you know, it was off. It wasn't receiving any messages. I couldn't text her anything. So I had Mr. Patton 3 days. It took him with every day, hey, can you please have the kids call me? Have the kids call me. Well, finally, on the third day, he told me he'd have the twins call me, that they've had availability to call me this whole week. But if they choose not to, that's on them. So Abby calls me, and I'm talking to Abby about it. And I said, baby girl, why isn't the phone on? And she said, I'm tired of you tracking me. You don't need to know where I'm at when I'm with my dad. And I was like, whoa, hold on. Wait, no, we don't talk to each other like that. No, ma'am. And Abby and I had several discussions about her attitude towards me and towards the whole divorce, and, you know, wanting to know more about what's going on and blaming me for a lot of different things that have been happening and the choices that, you know, that she doesn't get to see her dad as often as she'd like. And we had conversation after conversation, and she'd been grounded. I'd ground her from her phone for a couple of days, and then she'd earn it back. And, you know, I'd ground her from her friend's house, and then, you know, she'd earn it back. You know, trying to get her to realize that that's not the kind of behavior that's allowed. This was like the last straw. She'd never spoken to me like that before. Never told me that she was not going to charge the phone. Told me that I don't need to know where she's at because she's with her dad. So when I got home, I gave myself a few days, you know, just to figure out what's the best course of action in this situation, because I know she's angry. Of course she's angry. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and ground her, and I'm going to take everything out of her room. She's got a bed. She's got her clothes. Her closet door had stickers that she had collected. She loves her stickers. And so I had taken the sticker, the door off the hinge. She has her bedroom door. She has books in there. She has access to the TV at dinner time. But I am at a loss. I don't know what else I can do to get her to realize that she cannot act that way. She cannot be disrespectful. It is not appropriate to act that way, especially towards me. So as of right now, she's getting her privileges back. We had a really good conversation about boundaries and about what she's allowed to do and what she shouldn't do, and, you know, how she should stay out of things. This is none of her business. It's adult business. She's not an adult. Since she's been home, they got home last night. She's okay. She seems okay, but I think it's more because she's 12 years old and wants her things back. She wants to earn her privileges back, as I told her that, you know, depending on her behavior, she could. She's got a friend of hers that's trying to sweet talk me into getting her ungrounded. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else I can say to her without pushing her away from her father, because I don't want her to not like her father. I don't want her to be upset at her dad, you know. And I think that if she knew everything, her little 12-year-old mind, yeah, she's mature, but she is not an adult. She's not going to be able to understand everything, and I don't want her to know everything. She doesn't need to know.
All right. Mr. Duke, anything further?
The judge admonished you
Oh, I did. Yes. Yes, I have. No.
Thank you, ma'am. You may step down. Ms. Duke, you may call your next witness. All right, Mr. Patton, you wish to make any closing statement? You wish to make any argument, Mr. Duke?
I'll be happy to.
No, I'm going to take a short recess to try to assimilate what I've got here. You may. Before I take a break, let me just say this. One of the things that I fuss at parties going through a divorce about, and I think I probably did in your case as well, on a temporary hearing is that you have to be careful when you go through a divorce, because otherwise you're going to end up creating a situation where your children are the most affected by all of this that you two are going through. And what I'm hearing is that's exactly what's happened. Children in a divorce should not have to take sides, should not have to choose one parent over the other. They should not decide, well, you know, Dad's going to buy me something, I'm going to go live with him. Mom's too strict on me. You know, that does happen. But one of the things that I would also tell you is that when I'm hearing one side say there are negative things being said, and then I hear the other side, oh no, I would never do that, I have to judge this on credibility. You know, when I don't know either one of you outside of this courtroom, I've had you in prior hearings. The fact of the matter is that my decision in these cases has to be based at least partially on, if not mostly, on the credibility of the witnesses that I see before me. And so I'm listening to the two of you testify. I'm making decisions about whether or not I think what you have said is true, or credible, or fabricated testimony. That's one of the things that bothers me the most, is that I'm not sure that I've gotten the truth. I'm not saying I hadn't gotten the truth from either one of you, but I'm saying that I think both of you have got an idea. For example, it is not unusual to have the type of situation persist with your children. When you have teenagers, especially teenage children, there's a lot of going back and forth. But the question of what kind of punishment you give a teenager or even a preteen is the question, and whether or not it's appropriate to take the door off of her closet because it's got all these. That's a punishment that's designed to inflict pain on her. I mean, you know, yeah, they're your children, but you put this in my lap to have to make a decision. And for those reasons, you're going to hear from me about what I think is appropriate. And I think that what you did in that understanding is excessive and probably counterproductive. Because from what I remember about being a preteen or a teenager, and what I remember about my own children, you can push them away a lot more easily by becoming too overbearingly strict. And I understand you have a need to have the respect that they should have towards their parents. And my parents were strict on me, and I just never thought it was an option that I could do anything other than do exactly what my dad said. But it is a situation where that's something I'm going to have to address, and I have an idea of what I'm going to do to address it. But it does concern me, the fact that despite all of my best efforts in the temporary hearing, and what I see is that you've got children choosing sides, turning against their parents, and the only reason that that's happening are the two of you sitting there, and how you've reacted with your children. And is one person more likely to be blamed than other? Yeah, I think so. And I don't doubt that Mr. Patton has tried to influence the children, because of what I've seen today. I think he has an explanation for everything. And his explanations are not plausible in most of these instances. But in any event, I am required to give an equitable division of property and to put down a parenting plan that I think is in the best interest of your children. It may not be what either one of you think is appropriate. It may not be what either one of you wants, but I'm going to do, because you've asked me to do it, I'm going to do it and give you my best efforts. So we'll be in recess until I come to a decision and come back. All right. I have tried to consider all of the evidence. I have looked at all of the exhibits, and I have also considered the testimony of the parties along with making judgment regarding their credibility and their demeanor and so forth. First thing I'm going to do is to deal with the awarding of a divorce, which should have happened a long time ago, I assume, but in any event, Mrs. Patton will be awarded a divorce on the grounds of inappropriate marital conduct based on the testimony both today and in prior hearings in this court. The court is of the opinion that that's the case. And there's no testimony that she's involved with anyone else. And I understand it's been 2 years that this case has been pending, or longer, 3 years, I guess. And so Mr. Patton has moved on, has another person in his life. That doesn't make him necessarily a bad person, but it does mean that she is entitled to a divorce. She will be designated as a primary residential parent. I don't think Mr. Patton has actually contested that issue. You chose Mr. Patton to get married to a long time ago. So as a result of that, that carries with it certain obligations, and those, in my opinion, mean that you understand what it's like now. I understand what you're requesting as far as supervised visitation or therapeutic visitation. I do not find there to be a basis for that. I don't find him to pose a threat of harm or danger to the children that would require me to make his visitation supervised. I think, in all respect to you, Mrs. Patton, that there are certain people who are highly sensitized to any issue that's going on. Going through a divorce is a very emotional experience, and as a result of that, sometimes people, especially maybe moms, get highly sensitized because you've been the one who's been taking care of you. You were a stay-at-home mom, took care of these children their entire lives. You were devoted to them. You did everything for them while he went out and worked and did these things. As a result of that, when the divorce comes about and both of you are now having to share time with them, it becomes a highly emotional event for you that if for some reason they don't want to be with you, they want to be with him, or something like that happens. I think the danger to you is that you have created a highly sensitized situation where any kind of disrespect that you might have, you're attributing that to your children or being taken away from you, as opposed to the fact that you're dealing with a preteen or about to be a teenager, which are in and of itself a whole set of problems. That's not to say you're not a good mother. It's just to say that these issues you're dealing with are not atypical for a divorce situation. But my concern is that sometimes you have to be conscious of the fact that an overreaction in punishing a child can push that child further away rather than create the type of respect that you want. So as a result, I deal with that in court as a lawyer. Judges who yelled at me in court didn't always get my respect. They might get my fear. I might stay away from them or whatever, but they didn't gender the respect that a judge who reasoned with me and explained to me the situation or treated me with respect. Treating each other with respect is a mutual situation. Now, by the same token, Mr. Patton, you are not without fault in the fact that you promise your kids things and tell them that you want to take them to places and do things with them, makes them want to be with you, and that's a natural thing. You're not there. You have them only on the weekends. You're the fun guy because you feel like you got to entertain them. And it's been alleged that you've made some negative or derogatory comments. I don't know if that has happened or not. It really is hard to prove that, but there are some things that indicate that perhaps that is true. That stops now. This order is going to put down, it's going to be a broad and enforceable order that neither of you is going to make a derogatory comment to the other to the children about the other parent. You're not going to try to bribe them with things. If you have something you want to do with them, then you can pick up the phone and call her or text her, the mom, and say, here's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to talk to the kids about it. And let her have a heads up so that she doesn't get blindsided by it. In addition to that, because of the fact that what's happened with your older son, Justin, and being basically now alienated from his mom, which is one of the things that's I dread the most about these cases, is that the very thing that has happened is what I try to avoid in these cases. I'm going to order that these parties and the children involved enroll immediately in family therapy with a family counselor. Now, why do I do that? Because right now, what I'm hearing from one side and what I'm hearing from the other side, and the children are in the middle of this situation. And in my opinion, I'm not going to appoint a guardian ad litem because this case is going to be concluded today, at least to that extent. You've asked, Mr. Patton, for an additional week during the summer. But if I grant you an additional week right now, it's almost like rewarding some of the things that I've been told, are taking place. So I'm reserving the award of that additional week to see how you all do in the therapy that I've ordered. You go to therapy, learn to be a good parent, learn what's a good thing, how to treat your children. Ideally, it would be that you don't tell your children that, hey, mom, it's mom's problem, mom's fault, or whatever. You'd say, well, let me talk to mom about it, and we'll see if we can work it out. You try to insulate your children from the animosity that the two of you have for one another. So I'm ordering that now, Ms. Duke and you can consider and agree upon a family therapist, but there are several in the area, and I think that getting one local would be the easiest and simplest and cheapest thing for that. The parties will pay equally for that family therapy, because I think there are issues on both sides of that situation. All of this is an eye towards dealing with helping the children to adjust for the divorce. But I want this order to also specify that I want this therapy to address the respect or the lack of respect of the children towards their parents, the appropriate punishment versus excessive punishment to be exercised by the parents towards the children, promises that are bribed, so to speak, by one parent to curry favor with the children against the other parent. And all of that, in my opinion, can be encompassed along with just trying to help these children adjust and become acclimated to the fact that they no longer have a home where both parents are present. I don't want the children in the middle of any kind of argument. I don't want them in a situation where they feel like they've got to take sides one way or the other. The original order regarding the visitation schedule will remain the same, but I'm reserving your request for an additional week during the summer. This is simply not a case where I think it would be appropriate for equal time based on what's going on. In addition to that, your living arrangements are not such that, in my opinion, you would be able to provide a home every other week or whatever with the children. So for that reason, based upon the testimony of the parties and what I have observed, I am leaving the child support as previously ordered based upon those circumstances that, in my opinion, there's no credible testimony that differs. I understand that Mr. Patton says his income is only the $7,346 that he gets from both his retirement from the military and his disability. But as a practical matter, there's testimony that he's had different jobs, and he doesn't have to work if he doesn't want to, but clearly he was working at the time the temporary order went down. And one of the things that we cannot ignore is someone who simply starts to decide not to work as much or to work less to avoid paying any more child support. I don't think his obligation, I don't think he's really arguing about that, because he's indicated he's willing to do that. So child support will remain the same. I don't think there's anything else that I have to deal with regarding the parenting plan, except that I am reserving the issue of his request for an additional week. And if things go smoothly, you can just agree that, when it comes down to it, to give him you don't have to come back into court. Just give him an extra week. If the children want to go see him, let them go see him. You don't have to talk to your children every day that they're with their father. Think about this. From a father's perspective, that's his time with the kids. And if he has them for a week, he probably doesn't talk to them every day when they're with you. Children need to be if you call them every single day that they're with their dad, then that can be as though they're being pulled and towards you and away from him. So I can understand why it's upsetting to them and upsetting to you. They feel, again, caught in the middle between you and her. They kind of stop what they're doing to talk to you when they're trying to spend time with their dad, who they don't see as much with. So think about it from that perspective. She's entitled and both as he is, when the children are not with you, you have at least a minimum of 2 phone calls per week with the children. If it's done properly, there's no reason you can't have regular conversation. But again, just checking on them because you're worried about them. And my parents were the kind who, exactly like you, they would call no matter where I was or what I was doing, no matter how old I was. If it was snowing outside, my father would call me to make sure I wasn't driving somewhere, even if I was 40 years old. So it's understandable, but you have to understand that these children right now are highly sensitized to the fact that they're spending time with their dad, and then you're calling them, and then you're getting upset because they're not answering their phone, and that's what happens. You get that kind of reaction. So that's the judgment that I'm making in that particular situation. Moving then to the property division. The house is valued, according to the valuation that was entered earlier in this court, it was $195,000, and I know that Mr. Patton has opined that it's worth $239,000 or something on that order, but I don't have any proof other than just the fact that there's supposedly an increase in value. So I accept the $195,000 as the value. The debt, according to the testimony, was $150,000, resulting in a total of $45,000 in equity. I am awarding that house and all of the equity to Mrs. Patton. The reason that I do so is because of the fact that, according to the testimony, and I believe the credible testimony, that there was some $50,000 that was spent out of the car wash account. If I accept that testimony, that the car wash account was debited $50,000 to pay down on this vending machine business, and in my opinion, there is truth to that. But even if I didn't accept that, the fact that this other vehicle for $60,000 was sold prior to the filing of the divorce case would certainly offset any claims for alimony, the $27,000 that Mr. Patton might have towards that. Plus, it is the home where the minor children live primarily, and in my opinion, under the law, that I'm entitled to award that. The $26,000 on deposit in the clerk's office, that's from the sale of the car wash, will be divided equally to each party. Both of you will get half of that. As I've said, that awarding her the interest in the home offsets any claims she may have against him for this $50,000 for the vending business. He'll be solely responsible for the payment of any judgment that it just doesn't make sense to me that the judgment that was entered by the court is somehow no longer a valid judgment in some fashion, that there's an agreement that your testimony, Mr. Patton, with all due respect, did not make sense to me, and for that reason, I find there is probably a judgment down, and that those vending machines. And the other thing is, when I look at the fact that you bought into a vending machine business, and then you put a hold on it, so you were going to have to do something with the vending machines, and then I've given copies of Facebook Marketplace vending machines for sale by someone, Donnie Tinsley, and then it comes, and I credit that might be somebody else, and then Donnie Kinzer, and then it turns out that your original name before your adoption was Kinzer. I just don't find that is, in my opinion, a credible explanation that you're giving that it could be your brother. So for that reason, I may be wrong, but I'm finding that business was something that you did, in fact, invest in, and whatever that situation was with that lawsuit, you're responsible for it. The single wide trailer, he says he paid $1,000 for it. He's probably spent some money. I've awarded her the marital residence. He gets the single wide trailer. She's valued it at $15,000. I don't find that to be credible. I don't have an appraisal of it, so I'm crediting him with the fact that $1,000 is what he's paid for it, and there's probably but worth about that. The Kubota tractor, if I understand correctly, is she's valued at 26. He's valued at about what his debt. It says what he owes about it. And there's a payment of $705 a month on it. I'm awarding that to him because he does use it. And it doesn't, I'm of the opinion there's little, if any, equity in it. And with that debt, I'm ordering that he be responsible for the payment of the debt, but he's awarded that tractor. The enclosed trailer, I'm awarding him the trailer that is enclosed trailer. She's valued at $5,000. He's valued at $5,000 to $6,000. There's no debt. The white van, again, this is a disputed asset, and you cannot register a vehicle or get tags for a vehicle in the state of Tennessee that you don't own, as Ms. Duke correctly pointed out. For that reason, the fact that your business was shown as the registered owner of that vehicle is the state of Tennessee saying that you own that vehicle. I don't know what the value is. He's denied that he owes it, but clearly, if it does in fact turn out that he owes it, then owns it, then it'll be his. But then he's committed perjury in court, so that's a kind of a catch-22. Any interest he has in the vending machine business will be awarded to him. The mill and lathe will be sold for the $5,000, and the proceeds will be split. She's awarded her truck. He's awarded his truck. She's awarded the Mini Cooper. He's awarded the Jeep Wrangler. She's awarded the open two-wheel trailer, 10-inch, and he's got the enclosed trailer, which I've already dealt with. Pardon me, she's awarded all furniture and appliances in the home. She's also awarded the propane grill, the charcoal grill, the hot tub, the swimming pool, deck lounge chair, and any guns or firearms that were actually registered and gifted to her will be hers. And it's I don't know about this Hilltop shed, if it even still exists, because it was located at the car wash and it's now been sold. I think that's a moot point. Then he's awarded, in addition to that, the fifth wheel camper, which has been sold. He gets the Sleep Number mattress and accessories, which he kept, the smoker grill. I've dealt with a mill lathe combo. He gets his exercise bike and 70-inch TV, and he's awarded all of his guns, which in this court's opinion would have significant value. And he's, as I've said, awarded the single wide trailer. So that brings us down to then her request for alimony, and under the circumstances, this court is required to consider some of the factors. This is a marriage of some 10 years, if I'm understanding correctly, from the date of the marriage to the date of the divorce. It's not an extremely long one. He has a significantly greater income than she does, even just considering his military retirement and his disability. I cannot divide that. I can't award her a portion of your retirement or disability under the law, but it can be used to consider, what would be appropriate for any sort of division of expenses and so forth. The husband's expenses, as demonstrated by the exhibit number 11 that was introduced by Ms. Duke, after questioning him and testifying, totaled $3,188. That's the amount that is shown that he owes. The wife's expenses totaled $5,278. Now, in addition to that, she, in those debts that are shown on there, include the mortgage payment of $873. I am not ordering him to pay you half of that mortgage payment because of the fact that I think that just creates a problem where down the road we'd be back in court because he's missed a payment or something like that. But I've ordered that there be child support paid, and of course that exists during the life or the minority of the minor children. But with the disparity in your incomes, which your income, according to what I'm understanding was $52,000 a year, and that comes out to about $4,300 some odd dollars a month before taxes are deducted. His income without any additional employments, which I understand your argument to be that he is making money, he's just not reporting it. Well, you may be able to get that because you can always obtain copies of his tax returns, but that employment that he has is $7,346 for his various incomes, minus the child support payment of $1,600, leaves him with $5,746 a month in disposable income. Of his expenses, which were testified to, $3,188, it still leaves him with $2,558 in surplus income every month beyond what is required for him to pay his child support, pay all of his living expenses, and so forth. So I am awarding Mrs. Patton $750 a month in transitional alimony for a period of 6 years. And that will assist you in trying to make the payment until your children arrive at their maturity. And then at that point, you're going to have some decisions to make about how you do things. That will be the judgment of the court. And Mr. Duke, you will draw the order and provide it to the court, please.
In court, the mother explains she only knew the father earned cash from vending machines, not that he owned the business, while also defending her strict punishment of their daughter as a last resort after disrespect. The judge pushes back, calling the punishment excessive and warning both parents they've dragged the kids into the conflict. In the final ruling, the mother is granted the divorce and primary custody. The father gets unsupervised visitation, and both are ordered into family therapy, while the judge stresses credibility issues, bans negative talk, and prioritizes the children's well-being above all.